Episode 52. Welcome back to the Quick Hands Rugby League podcast. This is the pod that tells it like it is. Gents, always great to see you again.
How are we all? Hope
We're
you all
back.
had a great
Good.
weekend. Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
52.
back.
Told you we'll make it to 52.
True. Very stressful time we had trying to get it all going. Technical difficulties,
difficulties.
But we're here, Nicola.
We're here. We made it. And where's round 24, George?
It's in the can,
In the
Nicola.
can.
In the can.
In the can. You got something for us?
Before we go on, just do some housekeeping, Nicola. The Boy Wonder dropped the interview I did with the French Rugby League player, Lorraine. The Boy Wonder wanted me to mention the interview because it actually turned out good. I mean, I was pretty shit. I wish one of you blokes did
You're
it.
hard on yourself, George.
No, I wasn't good, but she's a very engaging young woman. And what happened was halfway through the interview, Nicola, the Boy Wonder put the headphones on and started talking to her as well and asking her questions, and just something magical happened. I don't know what happened, and please listen to it and tell me if
Will do.
I'm overstepping. Something magical happened. And this is a woman who plays rugby league in a country where rugby league is non-existent, basically. She's made the French team at 17 years old. She's played in England. She's played in Australia, trying to get back to the NRLW at the moment. Okay, last time we spoke to her, went back to Leeds. She's a woman who went to Africa and started a competition, a knockout competition there for young for young women, just to give back. And she's finished a university degree, mind you, and she works. So for a woman who's 22 years old, she's done a lot in life.
Wow. Yeah.
A lot in life, and you find out about how she mentally prepares for a game, and
That'd be really interesting.
and those questions were asked by the Boy Wonder. So you know what? I think it's good enough for me to say to people, please listen to it.
And that's off the bench.
Off the bench, yeah.
Off the bench.
It's off the bench. It's off the in our platform, but it's just like a different show. And look, to be honest, and I'm assuming it's from her. It's doing some really good numbers in France, England, and for some unknown crazy reason in America. I have no idea why. I don't know how, but
It's getting ready for the Vegas trip.
maybe that's what the Boy Wonder told me. So that's one thing off the one thing I ticked off. Nicola, last week. Some people had an issue with a thumbnail that the Boy Wonder did.
What was it?
Look, let's not get into it because
Whatever it is, I've missed it completely.
Yeah, maybe the wording was possibly a bit disrespectful, but I don't go away from the sentiment. That coach and Ricky Stewart, they're for me they're in the same basket, so I don't get off that sentiment. But look, maybe disrespectful the wording, but you know what? We're people who say it how it is, and if we overstep,
Disrespectful according to who? I mean, who cares?
we've had some literature through.
Okay.
Another thing which I got questioned on. Ben Hunt. Remember how I said that he was mailing it in? Artie? Let's make it clear. I went back to and heard what I said, and I said, Artie didn't say it. I said that I thought Ben Hunt was mailing it in, and some people. Let's say disagree with me. Artie, tell me on the forums and yourself, what do you think about Ben Hunt in terms of what is he compared to his best to what he's doing now?
He's definitely not playing to what his standard is, and that's what a lot of people are saying on the forum. Not everyone, but he's just going through the motions. It's like he's waiting for the end of the season. He's just he's not playing to He just looks like he's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
He's just checked out. That's what it looks like to us.
And let me just say that
And he's had a tough season by the looks of things, so you can understand. I don't know, maybe, but it just doesn't look like he's mentally there at the moment.
And Ari and I have no mail about him wanting to leave Nicola.
No.
Just me saying what I think. If he wants to leave, please.
Apparently,
Because we saw him live, and we could actually see him live out playing, and that's the impression.
Apparently he's confirmed that he's going to stay.
You stay, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm a massive fan of Ben Hunt, and what I saw against Parramatta, I didn't like, and I got upset in terms of it's clear that he's not giving his best, or he's just out of form, and I don't know. And let me say also that Adi did not say that he was mailing it in. It was me who said that.
But can I just say, regardless of who said what, we don't have to apologise for anything to anyone.
No, I'm just clearing it up.
All right, I'm just clearing that part up.
Yeah, no,
right?
it's not that much apology. It's just clearing up.
Okay.
You know what? These things usually the boy wonder. Some of these things the boy wonder handles if they're slurs or whatever, or I don't even get to see them. These ones were a little bit, let's say, out of his league. And I was going to answer him, and I thought, you know what, bugger that, because I'm not a good wordsmith anyway. I'll just say it on air. Another one, which is probably not more concerning, but the gentleman who replied, possibly upset Nicola. Now, we're Sydneyites. We live in Sydney. We don't know the geography of Brisbane. And let me finish. All Nicole was doing was reporting on something that Gordon Tallis said. Nico didn't say that he called the Dolphins Redcliffe. He said, and I went back and listened to it, he said that Gordon Tallis was calling Dolphins. Yeah. Now, the gentleman, and I'm going to give him a pass mark, the gentleman must have thought that we were disrespecting the Dolphins, and we were calling them and I want to make it clear that Nico said Gordon Tallis was calling them Redcliffe and not...
Yeah, seeing as this is about me, let me respond to that.
It's a general thing, but by all means.
I said Gordon Tallis calls them Redcliffe, which he does, on NRL 360.
On NRL 360.
And irrespective of that, if I said it myself, which I didn't. But if I was, I'm not going to apologise for that either. I don't care. Maybe some of you guys need to grow a thicker skin. But at the end of the day, we'll say whatever we want, and that's it.
Well, you know what? We don't know the geography of Brisbane.
It's got nothing to do with geography. Tallis calls them Redcliffe.
Yeah. What I'm alluding to is that possibly this Brisbaneite is obviously a Brisbaneite, and we're Sydneyites, and obviously that Adi and me live in the southwestern part of Sydney or Western Sydney, and there's a stigma evolved to the western part of Sydney. So maybe there is some sort of stigma which we don't know Brisbane. You know what I mean? So yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but he probably misread
don't
the
throw
comments.
stones in glass houses.
Yeah, I just thought I'll clear that up. I can't remember his name, but whoever you are, you'll know. Yes, tipping is that fun every week. Every week, tipping. You know the short that the boy Wonder made about us tipping last week. Yes, tipping is that fun every week, and we got no idea. Well, I've certainly got no idea. What's happening around me, and lucky last. How about the Tillies?
Yes.
Awesome. So good.
Talk to me, guys. I've got no idea. All I know is that I'm thoroughly entertained.
I think it's the longest penalty shootout I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Is that? Have you seen one longer?
I have seen longer, but they're very rare. I've seen where both keepers had to take a penalty.
Wow.
She didn't have to take one, by the way. She wasn't up yet. Usually the goalkeeper's like the last option when they've run through the whole list. But it was a good game. Australia had a few chances. They could have won it easily, I thought.
Yeah, both teams were in it. Like both teams were back and forth.
But what a cracker tomorrow night, Australia,
Yeah.
England.
Well done, the Matildas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crowds and the
Did,
viewership.
did anyone see the
huge.
footage of Sam Kerr handing her jersey to that little girl in the
Yes.
crowd?
Yes, I saw.
That's the best thing I've seen.
Mm.
That little girl's face, that reaction. If you haven't seen it, go and look it up on YouTube or wherever. Just type in Sam Kerr jersey, and she gives it to a little girl in the crowd. And that little girl's reaction is everything.
Yeah. There's something about women playing sport at a high level in terms of their compassion. I see it every week in the NRLW sphere. It's completely different. The way they're very aggressive, and so are the Tillies. But when that second is over, they'll come and rush to it. It's just amazing.
They had massive ratings. They had 76,000 in attendance.
It was
sorry, that was in Brisbane. What am I talking about?
Yeah, no, it was Full House 50. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Full House again here
Tomorrow,
tomorrow. 80 whatever thousand. And in terms of television ratings, it's the most ever seen. So they're talking over 6 million, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And tonight, tomorrow night, I think it's going to be more than that.
Brilliant.
Well,
Everywhere I
so
go, they're
good.
talking about it.
Well, we're
so-
2 games away from a public holiday.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, Nicola.
My goddaughter plays at a high level, soccer, and I go watch. I've gone to watch her play, and the level of they play is amazing. They're so good. It's brilliant, and it's just booming. Girls soccer
Yeah,
is just
it's good to see.
booming,
Really
and
good
it's
to see.
Fantastic. Yeah.
But check out that footage of Sam Kerr giving away a jersey because that's just priceless.
Yeah.
So before we move into tonight's show, I just wanted to make a call out. Today would have been my parents' 63rd wedding anniversary.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
So happy anniversary to both of them. They're no longer with us, sadly. But yeah, 15th of August, 63 years.
Wow.
Together, that would have been.
Would have been.
Yeah.
It would have been, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So happy anniversary, Mum and Dad. And let's move on to Controversy Corner.
You know what else is about 15th of August?
What?
It's the Saint Mary. What is it? Maria. All the Marias and Peters and Despinas.
On name days.
They're all celebrating today. It's a big religious name day in
So what
Greek
is
Orthodox.
it? Yeah, what is it? It's Peters.
Maria, Mary.
So,
Yeah,
Maria.
Maria,
It's-
Peter, and Despina. So
It's
happy
a-
name day to
Despina.
all.
Yeah, it's a
all the Maria and
festival
Peters.
public holiday in Italy as well.
Yeah.
It's called the Ferragosto.
Mm.
Yeah.
Public holiday all the way through
It's a
the
big
country.
day in the Greek Orthodox calendar, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Something
So-
must have happened on the 15th.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but so I don't think I've ever told Nicole. You know, like Dee Anna introduced birthdays to us.
Yeah.
Well, when I was growing up, it wasn't never birthday; it was always name days.
Name days, yeah.
So we would
Yeah.
celebrate name days more than, and that's why I still find it funny when Dee does birthdays.
It's
we do name
a
days.
European thing. My
Mm.
relatives in Italy celebrate name day.
Oh,
and,
really?
and they message me and say happy name
Oh.
day. And I'm like, I didn't even know it was my name day.
Yeah.
It's not something we've ever done here.
Well,
But,
over the years, because I've been with Dean, my mum always rings me up, and other people will message me. But I used to remember the date, but now I don't even remember the date.
Mm.
So
I'm flat out remembering my birthday. Jeez. I forgot Dean's birthday. I rang him this morning. His birthday was on Saturday.
No, you and Dino.
Sorry, Dino. Yeah.
You know what the bad
Can you
thing
believe that?
the bad thing about celebrating name days, the Greek thing, right? My dad was Mr. Popular, right? So I remember when it was the St. Nick's, we'd go to 3 or 4 parties in one night. Like we'd be one going into one, leaving that one, going to the other, going to the other. Or when it was, it was just a crazy, crazy time for the popular names.
You never told us you were related to Cameron Serrado.
His father.
Mr. Popular. No, I'm not that popular. That guy's just, wow.
He's real popular
Next
now.
level.
Boys, one thing's in the bag. Payne Haas has finally signed an extension with the Broncos.
That's very
to
good
the end
news.
of 26, 1.2 million a season. Probably a smart move because if he continues to play the way he has been, he'll get a bigger deal in 3 years' time. What do you guys think?
Very good deal. I'm glad he's staying at Brisbane. I hope he stays there for his whole career. I just like players, juniors, to stay in one club. So good news for the Broncos. I think he'll do fantastic. And happy days. 1.2.
Highest paid player in Broncos
That's it.
history. Yeah.
Maybe he's waiting to see if they win a comp. You know, he wants to win a comp. Maybe he wants to wait in those 3 years. This might be just a sweet spot, and they might dip, and then he can just back out.
I think it's a smart move from him.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move.
Nico, I think it was the only choice really he had, if you ask me. 1.3, the highest paid player in the club. probably one of the highest played forward in the comp.
Is it? Yeah,
Probably.
the highest. Yeah, I think.
How much did Tino just sign for?
1.2.
Yeah. So he's the highest paid forward in the game probably. He's home. He's happy. He's young. His team's in a premiership window. I think it was a no-brainer. You know what? Think of it this way: when his deal's over, he'll be 25.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Not even at his peak.
It's the first time that I can remember a situation where all 17 clubs were after a player.
Oh.
Like what I read this afternoon was
Franchising change.
Payne Haas has officially rejected 16 clubs. Like, talk about the demand.
Oh, look,
crazy. And he's worth it.
Yes.
I think he is anyway.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely worth it.
Worth it.
He's a game changer. He's a franchise player.
He's in the conversation. They say like spines win comps, and that's true. Spines and halfbacks win comps. Throw him in the mix.
Yeah.
Throw him in the mix because he'll get the halfback where he wants to be, and he's the only one who can do it. So I enjoy watching him play.
And Tino and David Fafita. So Tino signed for 10 years.
10 years.
So he's 23 years old.
Smart.
12 million, I think it is, for the 10 years, whatever that
was
works
1
out.
million with ratchet clauses, and
I'm not
it
sure.
goes up.
Something like it's seven
money.
figures, whatever it is.
It's 7 figures. For sure.
And David Fafita, $1 million a year for 3 years, has extended as well.
Wow,
That's
smart.
a big statement from Tino, isn't it?
Well, it's smart.
Because Melbourne apparently offered him a 10-year deal as well.
Really?
I'm not sure for how much.
So it's a struck hair between the quality between Tino and Payne. I'm going to suggest to you Tino has got other attributes, like he's a genuine leader. Payne isn't a leader. Payne does what he does and does it at the best that he does it. Like no one does it better than him, but he's not a leader. So you're probably getting good value from a big Tino.
Yeah.
And with Tino, the best is yet to come. And you know what? Out of those 10 years, you might get 8 years outstanding, and you'll wear the 2 years because you've got him. So let's look at Tamalolo. What year is he on now? Year 8?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's on year 8 or something.
Really not
year
sure.
8.
I think so, or
I
year
thought it was
6.
less. Yeah, around 6. I think. I don't think he's done 8 years.
Well, then if that's the case, let's hope he plays a little bit better because. But he's on $1 million, eh?
He's on $1 million.
So
definitely.
really, if you think about it, DC him, they're steals.
It's a big risk. 10 years.
Yeah.
It's a long. I remember. Not sure what year it was, but it had to be late 80s, early 90s, maybe early 90s. I remember Ricky Stewart signed a 5-year deal at the Raiders, and that was huge at the time. Yeah. But hey, I mean, all the signs are there that he's the man. He's the one.
Absolutely.
And
both of them, but he's the man.
Yeah.
For sure, Tino.
What's speaking of big money forwards, George? Tell us what's happening with Tavita Pangai Jr.
Oh, he did us a favour, Nicola. He's he's a man of very strong character and holds close to his word, and it's a type of signing that only Phil Gould can make. You know what I mean? A genius of a guy. He's decided to leave the club, Nicola, and go and be a.
He's retiring from NRL.
Retiring from the NRL. Apparently, I don't believe for a second.
At 27.
I don't believe for a second, but he's retiring. He's going to be a boxer, and you know what, Nicola, he might have a bout or two, but I can guarantee you he'll be back in the NRL within the year, probably with Wayne.
So do we honestly think that he's going to walk away from $750K, or
we know he's not,
or is Gus going to funnel the money to him when he's not registered with the NRL anymore?
Well, you know what's going. You know how it happened. You know he got the tap on the shoulder. You know, Gus.
How many years did he have to go?
I think 2
or 3. Yeah,
because this frees up $750 a season for the Dogs now to pursue someone else.
That's right, and 800,000 when that English forward goes. I forget his name. Thompson, yeah. When Thompson goes, so there's nearly 1 point. I don't know, 1.6.
But he's getting Crichton. He's not going to be cheap.
Well, then you go. Crichton's probably 800K.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, mind you, on the performance of last week, he'll fix all our problems. So, yeah, Stu buying again from Gus, but yeah, look, you know what, he what he shows on the field shows me that he's not happy. So good. Good he made that decision because he could have dragged it 2 more years and picked up the money. So it's good for him. It's good for the Bulldogs. So I say good riddance, but I shouldn't say that. Yeah, if he's happier, move on. And let both parties, lick their wounds and go. But look, he'll be happier now. He probably doesn't want to play the next 2 games, but look, he's shown that on the field, isn't he? That
Played State of Origin this year too.
again, strange. Artie called it when he saw the sheet. He nearly went into spasm. He spat all his Weet-Bix out and I thought I was giving it some air, but in hindsight, he was
I
right.
thought it was a good selection,
Right.
but it didn't
work out that way. Yeah.
When he burst into the scene, I thought this guy was going to be amazing. I thought it was going to be fantastic.
He's got the.
He has,
but he just can't.
great
He
ability.
can't produce it.
Absolutely. He also the weird thing about this is we'll keep saying it. He's 27. That's when you start hitting your peak.
Is he 27 already?
20. Didn't you say he's 27?
No.
He's 27. Yeah.
27.
Is he 27
Yeah.
already?
So he's leaving at peak. You know what I mean? Like, this is when he's going to.
Don't forget, he was at the
Really?
Broncos before.
Yeah, he was at
When he
Broncos
did
for a
half a
while.
year at the Panthers too.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a bit younger than. I thought it was 25. But you know what? Since the Panthers, a half a game, I haven't seen anything from him. He has showed me nothing. All he showed me was heartache.
But he
For the
showed in the
Bulldogs.
Panthers that he's got it. He's got the ability.
Yes,
It's just
in that system.
it
Yes.
just
We've
needs
seen it
the
in
right
spurts.
system.
Yeah, in that
Yeah.
system.
So put him in the Storm, put him under Wayne, maybe
Put him under Wayne, and
He'll
I
excel.
suggest,
He'll excel.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I suggest it'll be a little doozy. But
Good luck
you
to
know
him
what?
in the
He's
box,
made a
yeah.
decision.
Good luck to him.
And off he goes, and off Canterbury goes, and off we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the RLPA and NRL apparently have finally come to an agreement.
Thank
Wow,
God.
Circus is over.
Thank God.
Yeah, that is good news.
Makes you wonder what was it all about because I haven't heard anything groundbreaking.
Oh, look, is it simple fact that the Man of Feathers came in and they, I don't know, they listened to him and it just happened. I don't know what happened.
See how easy it is to do a deal. Funny, eh?
Funny, eh? It's funny. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he closed up so quickly in 2 days. we had a year and a half of heartache, and in 2 days it got sorted.
Yeah.
Funny that. Look, I don't know. The details are going to come out. I'm happy that it's over because I couldn't bear another week of having to talk about it. I think everybody's happy. They got what they wanted. They're lauding what's his name as a god. What's the guy from the RPA, whatever?
Clint Newton.
They're calling him a god. That's what Cherry Evans called him. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's move on.
You know what?
He got what he
Someone
wants.
gets me a 37% pay increase.
Yeah,
I'll
true.
call him God too.
True.
Maybe Clint should be in charge of the NRL. Maybe
Yeah.
take Volandis and put him in there. Well,
Yeah.
Him and the Man of Feathers. Huh?
Him and Abdo will work well together. Ricky Stewart's press conference.
Ricky Stewart.
He's done it again. 80 seconds, right?
He's not happy.
Every time his team loses, it's a 2-minute presser, and every time they win, it's 8 minutes. He's just done a classic Ricky Stewart. He was just in a foul mood, doesn't want to talk. And look, you copped a bad loss. I get it, but how many times have we said it? Being professional, it's part of the gig. You're a coach. The press conference is part of the gig. He goes, I don't feel like being here. I'm only here because I have to be. And just over a minute later, he walked out. When's he ever going to grow up? Seriously.
It's good to see raw emotion, though, isn't it? Like you feel it.
It is, but I mean, the lack of professionalism is disturbing.
Yeah, but I don't
It's
know.
not park footy. You know what I mean? There are major sponsors. There's a lot of money going into behind what he does, and no one wants to see that.
You know what, Artie? If you've done it once, twice, you'll excuse him. You can see
does
he's
it all the
upset.
time.
He does it all the time. He's done it for 10, 15 years. And his counterpart there, Wayne, you know what I mean? We can say that he plays around with the media or he controls the media, but it's more disrespectful and not professional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We give them both a get out of jail card. We keep on giving it to him. But I don't know. You know what? You told me in you watch soccer all around the world. Is there anyone like these two guys?
You always get your characters.
Mourinho.
Character and disrespectful, two different things.
But I mean,
You got
even
Mourinho.
Mourinho. But you know what?
Does he
but
answer questions,
But he
mate?
still sits there and does the press conference, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he can be a bit prickly towards the and Jurgen can be a bit prickly.
But
too.
that's normal. But that's normal too. But I mean,
he just
the way Ricky does it is just different.
yeah.
I'm here. I'm only here because I have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you ask the players? Apparently they can talk now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Come on, really. Is it that hard to go out there and say, I'm really disappointed with how my team played? And you know what the most disappointing part was? He was asked about Jared Croker, who announced his retirement, and he goes, "I don't want to talk about it. I'll talk about it tomorrow."
Disappointing.
You know what I mean? Like,
Disappointing.
does he deserve that? Does Croker deserve that?
doesn't. He
Seriously,
doesn't.
you can't park your bullshit for 30 seconds to talk about Jared Croker.
I can understand that because he doesn't want. He's in a really bad frame of mind and he doesn't want to bring up such a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
The way he is, he wants to wait till he's more calm and then he can talk about it.
Well, that's called lack of professionalism.
It's a guy
think
that
of it,
can't control his emotions. Basically.
Artie, think of it this way, okay? There's idiots like us who actually go onto their computers or their laptops and stream all the presses. Okay, so do they know that people are actually watching their presses?
It wouldn't be uploaded there.
He's disrespecting the fans basically when you say nothing. And you know what? There's ways of saying nothing and saying heaps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I know this sounds harsh, but not controlling your emotions when you're on live TV, that's lack of professionalism.
Why doesn't he just send out an assistant or something or just to take his place because he just can't
You know
go
what?
out there?
Like that
I don't
press.
understand that.
Why can't you just
he
go
should've.
out there and suck it up for 5 minutes? Seriously, how hard is it?
Yeah.
You know what? Artie had. Sorry, he should have sent. He's got Madge. He should go Madge.
Yeah.
Go and do it for me.
Yeah.
So there you go.
To
But
be
he
honest-
wanted to go. He wanted to show everybody that he was pissed. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. It's all an agenda. Be it him, be it Wayne. They go out.
And he didn't bring a player with him either.
No, I
So
noticed.
he didn't bring Croker with him.
No, I noticed that.
You know?
Do you know what, guys? The reason I'm a bit sympathetic with Ricky is because I think that if I was in Ricky's shoes, I'd probably react the same way.
Yeah,
He's
me
just
too.
that type of character he is. He's just a very emotional guy. When he's really pissed, it's just hard to sort of hide it.
These are things that you see from rookie
it's-
coaches, not someone who's been coaching 22 years.
Yeah, I know, but it just goes. I don't know.
I got you, Artie. I understand what you're saying because you know what I'm like. I'll be the same as well. I'll be
Yeah.
pretty pissed off, and I'll probably have tears in my eyes after that loss. But it's been a long time now, and
Yeah,
he's a professional coach. He's won comps. I don't know.
It's like, dude, get over it. The press conference is part of your job.
Yeah.
Stop complaining. He's talking about it like it's been implemented this season, but he's been doing that for 10 years. The press conference is part of your job.
It is.
Get over it.
I feel as if he doesn't feel like people watch it anyway. He thinks it's just garbage anyway.
See,
no one's gonna
I
watch
think
it.
he does
But
it.
maybe if he realizes that actually people do watch it, maybe it might.
I
stick.
think he does it to send messages.
Yeah,
Both of
true.
them. Both of them do.
Hopefully it works. Hopefully they win this week for him.
Yeah.
Because it's a big game. So we'll see if it worked.
Maybe.
George,
If it
what's going on in Belmore? You were basically full strength the other day.
I'll tell you something, Nicola. Yes, we were full strength. Well, full strength, Nick. And what does this show? This shows that what they're doing at Belmore is wrong. Now, we can make excuses. We can talk about recruitments. We can talk about, grassroots rugby league. We can talk about all the things that Gus is talking about. Okay, he's wrong. He's not going to do what he thinks he's going to do. Because let's look at this. We've got a coach with a really strong track record because he went to England. He's won grand finals. He's won. Oh no, wait a minute. No, he hasn't. He's been once assistant coach to. Yeah, and he said yes a lot to the best coach in the game. Okay, so let's get
He's
that.
in his first season too.
Yeah. He's in his first
First
season, and he's said yes, yes, Ivan. Yes, you're right, Ivan. Yes, Ivan. Yes, all right. Okay. So, but you know what? We're right because we've got the best guy to recruit talent because he's sorted out about 3 or 4 teams. Oh, wait a minute. No. He went to the best nursery in the world, and he's put some structures up, and Ivan coached some kids. Yes,
They put the structures up.
well, apparently, that's
Phil,
what,
didn't
that's what
Webster?
it tells us.
Didn't feel good,
Not
did
Webster?
they?
I feel good. I feel good. Give him that. Apparently, he did it. Okay. So wait a minute. So what I'm trying to say to you is that you know how I say, show me.
Yeah.
We know what Desi's going to do. We know what. Well, guess what? We got a coach. We got no idea what he's going to do.
Those I know we'll cover it when we get to the game anyway, but some of those tries the other day on Sunday,
Terrible.
especially between Kikau and what's his name.
That's what I'm going to say. So
Yeah.
we've got a coach who's got no track record. We've got a
But
C-
you got Gould behind him, who's got a track record
of
So-
what? Of coaching? Yes, I
Yes,
agree.
coaching. So he's probably playing a
What
big
else?
role. He's doing the Ivan Cleary, but like he's doing the behind the scenes.
He's a snake.
He's
yeah.
trying to help Serraldo. So it's not as if Serraldo's on his own.
No,
I
he's
feel like
not.
Serraldo's got his hands tied. He's not really in
Well,
charge.
no, that we know. That's why they picked
So
him.
that's why you
why
can't
wouldn't
really
why
pick
wouldn't you
on
pick
Serraldo.
Flanagan? Why wouldn't you buy Flanagan if you wanted a successful team? We can't control Flanagan.
I'm still a fan of Phil Gould, but let's not forget the last time he won a comp was 1991.
Well, there you go.
That's
Even
eons
so.
ago,
So this is my question.
30 years ago.
This is my question to you. Okay. Now that team that ran on Sunday, okay, when you look at them, they're not a terrible team.
no, there's a lot of names in
A
there.
lot of names in there. Okay. So you tell me, I'm going to ask you this year, you tell me one player that Cameron Serraldo has improved. Because I can tell you a lot that have gone backwards. So let's look at one player.
I could
okay?
only go to some of the youngsters who I suppose Carraz or Avarillo, who I think are probably having a better season than they did last year. But
Yeah.
you'd know that better than me. I don't.
Yeah, no. And
Everett
I agree.
got shown the door. He got tapped. to
Yeah,
go.
I can't figure that one out.
So
I really
he's
can't.
playing better since.
They paid $500,000 release clause for the youngster half who's now going to play lock.
Olapu.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Burton's kicking game was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, Burton's gone backwards.
Yeah.
Kickout's defense was lazy.
Kick-out's gone backwards.
Reid Marnie at the start of the season, he was the buy of the season. He's shaping up to be the dud buy of the season.
Absolutely.
Still leading the list missed tackles. I think he's on 106 now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's with Ezra Mann still second on 90
Wow.
something. Yeah.
Wow.
But I can't put a finger on it. I mean, they didn't start the year like that. They started with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and I'm not talking about the trial game. Everyone got excited over the first trial game. I'm talking about the first few games of the season.
I think they caught a few teams. I thought they caught a few teams, not even not prepared, but definitely with injury problems. Like that game in Melbourne, they were depleted.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the Bulldogs, they had probably the worst injury toll in the comp at
They
that
did in
point
the middle
too.
of the year.
Not
Yeah.
in the middle, yeah. But now that they've got a lot of their players back.
Addo Carr was very quiet.
You know what? I'm going to go this far because actions show, actions talk louder than words. Okay, he's lost the dressing room. Look at him;
Perhaps.
they're a mess. And defense is the first thing that goes.
Yeah.
That when you lose the dressing room, I'm telling you now. Okay, there's too many voices. Who do you watch? Because every time I see Serraldo, I see a little short, fat guy next to him with shorts talking more than Serraldo. Okay?
Yeah.
If he wants to coach Gus.
Yeah.
But don't have Serraldo there and destroy his career as well. He's you know what? They're confused. They are confused. They don't know what's happening, who's coming, who's going, who should I listen to. I'm telling you now, it's not going to work.
It's being
not gonna work.
widely reported, and we've spoken about it many times. But they really need a half.
Yeah.
Well,
They really need a halfback.
well,
A halfback.
The recruitment which Gus does, and now you're right again because we had this debate. Sexton and what's his name?
He was playing second grade.
Tanner Boyd.
Tanner Boyd, okay. And I kept on sticking up for Sexton. After one performance, I saw him at Parramatta there. Okay, guess what? You're right.
He was playing second grade
No,
on the
no,
Gold
you're right.
Coast.
No, you've just touched on what the problem is with Canterbury because Buzz, I don't agree with Buzz that often. right? I don't.
No idea.
But Buzz said a stat that absolutely freaked me out yesterday.
What is that?
In 3 years, Canterbury's had a turnover of 67 players.
Yes, I saw that.
Wow.
67 players.
Yeah.
So how can you expect? And now you touched on Sexton, right? The guy's had 3 games. 3 games. How can you expect Sexton to succeed if you're going to give him 3 games?
And most of that's happened under Gus's watch.
Exactly. You just don't give guys time.
67
they play
players,
Young
yeah.
Flanagan, I guarantee he's going to go to another
He'll be at the
club
Dragons.
and he'll be good. And Canterbury's going to say, oh, geez, you got rid of the lesbian act. He's killing it. Montoya's doing all right in Melbourne. Remus Smith's doing okay. Those 2 guys are playing
Nick Meaney.
semi-finals. Nick Meaney. Just don't give him a chance. 2, 3, 4 errors, they're not good enough. See you later.
You know
Bring in
what?
someone else. Start again. Again.
I wish they never got rid of Potsy or
Potsy brought out the best in a few players, didn't he?
Potsy
Well, he's
or
there.
Dean Pay.
He's in the coaching staff. Potsy.
Yeah, but he's not the man.
He's not the man.
He's behind Cameron, Serraldo, and
But
Phil
still,
Gould.
he'd be providing feedback to help the guys.
I
And
wish they never got rid of Dean Pay.
yes,
they'll do
he was getting
well.
somewhere.
Dean Pay did better
Yes.
with a team of nobodies. This is a star-started team.
Yeah.
Go through it for a second.
For
Think-
him,
Marshall
for Dean
King.
Pay.
He's got rid of
Today-
Marshall King now.
Yeah,
For
he's
Think
the one who
about,
got it. He's the one who
think
got it.
about, again, Reed Marnie, Pangai Jr., Matt Burden, Addo Carr. Keep going.
And
There's a lot of names there.
That is my point to you guys. This team, and sure, it was depleted at some stage of the year with injuries, but this team, let's say on Sunday, okay,
Yeah.
they're not a 40-0 team. They're not a 40-6 team, okay? And the way that Newcastle strolled through the middle,
That was too soft.
for God's sake,
Yeah.
okay? So, look, I'd like to be wrong, and you know what? I'd love to sit here next year and you guys saying to me that, I told you you're wrong, you gave him another year, this and that. I don't see it. Because I see no track record with these guys.
a rookie coach needs more than 1 year.
But-
Doesn't matter how you look at it. A rookie coach needs more than 1 year.
So
It's his first
So imagine
year.
Webster, who's going to do next year?
And he needs a settled roster, man. He needs a roster where guys have played together at least 12 games at least a season together.
I'll-
You can't. Let's have a whole season, then let's get rid of these guys.
But
and bring them-
I'll tell you now. Okay? I'll tell you now. Okay, Gus is going to start ripping and tearing again because some players are not. He won't like. So like Liam Knight. I bet you any money. Halfway through the next year, he'll get rid of Liam Knight.
I'll tell you,
okay?
who's in the danger zone is Gus. At
Yeah.
what point is the club going to turn around and say, "What
Who's
are you
going to
doing?"
sack Gus?
Yeah.
The board's not going to sack Gus.
The sponsor.
The sponsor.
Laundy.
Laundy won't sack.
If he threatens to withdraw,
I'll tell you now, he's the best snow job man in the game. He's the best salesman, as Artie says, in the game. Okay.
In over with the Canterbury club though, you look at the junior system. The juniors are going okay.
Yeah.
They're top of the league, aren't they?
and Gus
They're-
just
they're up
said
there.
Gus just said last week that we're making progress and all that. We're not going backwards, but when you compare last season to this season, they've gone backwards.
Yeah,
the year
Look
before.
at all the stats.
Yeah, I know.
And then when
Everything's
Potsy
last.
had him, and then when
Yeah,
you know what,
Potty did well and Pay did well.
Pay
Pay
did
did
really
very
well.
well.
Pay did really
I'm
well.
telling you, when he got 6-7 games in a row with that team that he had, that was impressive. It was an eye opener.
Give him cattle.
I still
And
reckon
then-
Pay should be the next New South Wales coach.
You know what? When
why not?
when they got rid of Dean Pay, all Dean Pay said was, when they started getting some good players, he goes, "Well, if you gave me some good players, maybe I would have done a little bit better."
He tried to bring back Josh Reynolds too. Like we're talking 3-4 years ago,
Yeah, Josh.
and they wouldn't let him. Yeah,
No, they
he tried
didn't.
to make some moves. They wouldn't let him.
They didn't. They hamstrung the poor guy. But look, you asked me what's happening out there. Well, I think it's a mess, and Gus is trying to tell us that everything's to plan, and I'm suggesting to you it isn't the plan. And next year we'll be sitting here, exactly the same results, a completely different team, and I'll be asking you, okay, Serraldo, Gus will sack him because he has to. Okay, who's going to sack Gus?
The thing is, when
Well,
you
he's on a 5-year deal.
when you think about all the Canterbury teams, the good Canterbury teams, right? You had the Mortimer brothers, the Hughes brothers, they're all juniors that came through. Then you look at the other team that won recently, the latest team that won the grand final. You had Sonny Bill, you had Mason, Braith, all those guys through the junior ranks.
Yeah,
Gus
Thurston.
Gould's come in there and you think, okay, Gus is going to just concentrate on juniors. All he's done is buy players. He hasn't really done anything
And he
else.
continues on now.
And he continues on. Like, just give faith
So-
in your juniors because they're doing pretty good in the junior
So you're
comps.
telling me that they're doing good and they're years away. So you know what? I'll be like St George. I'll cop losses if I know that there's all these gun youngsters coming through. I'll be good. But what I see them doing on top, it's a farce. But anyway, look, I don't know. Nicola. Your guess is good as mine, but I got this funny suspicion that we'll be sitting here and you're going to ask me the same question in what round is it? You know,
If we're in the
Time will
same
tell.
position next year, do you think Gus will survive?
yeah,
He
of
will.
course he will.
I've got a feeling he won't.
He's got a 3-year plan, whatever he's going to
Be
tell us.
interesting to see
they're the
how
same
it
position.
plays out.
I don't think Serraldo will be there. Put it that way. I don't think they're going to give him another year of this.
Yeah, they will. I'll give him three.
Three
third
bad
year,
years.
the third year, and then if they're doing a little bit better, they'll hold on all their jobs. Oh, we're improving. We came, 14th. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny about that? At the start of the year, everyone had full of optimism with the Bulldogs. Some of them had them in the bottom 8. They thought they're going to finish bottom 8. Some had them 10th. And even Gus and all, we're going to improve. And then now when they're in the shit, well, we all knew we were going to be bad. No, you didn't.
No,
You were telling the fans,
A
like
lot
the
of my
fans
mates were doing somersaults after the
Exactly.
first trial game.
Exactly.
Dude, take it easy. It's a trial game.
Yeah, I know.
Artie,
So much expectation, and it's just gone to shit.
Gus came out and said the biggest lie. Look, I told Cameron not to come this year. God, go and get effed.
Yeah, I know.
I told him
know.
not to come this year.
I know.
Please. Gus thought he was going to be on the edge of 8. I don't care what you
He
think.
did.
Okay. So did
Guaranteed.
Serraldo. Okay. Because he thinks that Serraldo is a super coach. He honestly believes, I think, that Serraldo is a super coach.
He did the same for Barrett. He thought he was a super coach,
Yeah.
and you saw what he did to him.
Yeah.
So
You know, Snake him. But you got to think, because what do I say about track record? What's Serraldo done? Said a lot of times he said yes to Ivan. Yes, Ivan. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, good move. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I hate about this, right? Talking about 3-5 year plan, right, and talk about rebuild. Everyone's got to look what Webster's done. He's done it in 1 year, and he hasn't even brought any recruits. He literally got the roster that he had there.
Tell me.
He's improved. Jackson Ford, Sean Johnson.
He's improved.
He's
He's
improved
improved
all of them.
them all.
Yeah.
He didn't
Yeah.
have to buy anyone. All he said is, I'm going to make these guys play to their peak, and we're going to be a top 8 side. And he did it.
I suggest to you that both rosters, Warriors are better roster.
No, at the start of the year, not everyone said that. Everyone had Canterbury roster better than the Warriors.
Yeah, I
The
can-
They
Warriors
did.
roster was full of underperforming players.
Exactly.
So he went there and improved, let's say half a dozen.
Yeah. I say all of them.
All of them? I say half a dozen,
There's not
okay?
a bad player in the Warriors.
And I ask everybody when they talk to me, because everybody talks to me about the Bulldogs, I say, well, one player that has improved, one. And you know what? Most people go to Carraz. Okay? I thought Carraz was okay last year.
I thought Carraz was better last year.
Oh,
I didn't really notice him last year. That's what I'm saying. You're better. I mean, you'd be better to ask than me. 'Cause
I thought Carraz was good last year. I thought Amarillo.
he's a really good young player.
He is.
Yeah.
And I thought Amarillo showed a lot of glimpses last year. He's more consistent now for sure. But we're going to lose him obviously.
Jacob Preston maybe is the only one who's really excelled.
Well, he was Reggie's last year. He was Reggie somewhere else last
He's
year.
out for the next 2 games now as well.
Yeah, well, he's been pretty good. I think
Yeah, he has been
their
good.
best.
Yeah.
No, he's been very good. He's probably the only shining light in that team, I think. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I don't know what to say. Look, time will tell, and let's hope Gus is right. But I don't know. I just think Gus is a lot of talk. And
Boys, let's take a look at the ladder. We're at that point now where who's going to make the 8, who's not going to make the 8. I'll run through 1 to 8. We got Panthers, Broncos, Warriors in 3rd. Storm, Sharks, Raiders, Knights, Rabbitohs. And then on the fringe, you got Cowboys 9th, Eels 10th, Roosters 11th, Seagulls 12th. And I'd say that's probably the cutoff.
Here come the Chookies.
you reckon?
Nah, no, I'm just saying it. The only team that's unlucky not to be in the 8 and should be in the 8 is the Cowboys. I think they're a much better team than 9th.
I think it's going to stay as it is.
Apart from the others.
You reckon?
I can't see who's going to go in, and I can't see who's going to come out.
Well,
And it's very tight.
Okay, so Penrith, Broncos, Warriors.
The top
Storm,
4 is the top
lock,
4.
locked. Yeah, they're locked.
Lock. Okay. Sharks. All they have to do is win one more game.
I still don't know how they're
Cowboys
sitting in
this week.
5th. I don't know how the Sharks are sitting in 5th.
Well, they play Cowboys this week. We're on 28. If
big
Cowboys
game.
beat them, they're equal, 30.
Big game.
Right? And then you've got Raiders if they win, Knights if they win, they go in front.
Well, Raiders will drop out. Well, because of minus 120.
Who are they playing? They might win. If they win, they go 32.
Yeah, but
they jump Sharks.
yeah. No, they'll get the 32, but there's going to be a lot of teams on 32.
30.
Well, no, 32.
No, 30. 28, 28. If Sharks lose, there'll be 30, 30, 30.
I meant
and this team's on top
no,
31.
but I meant at the end of the year.
Oh, end of the year.
At the end of the year,
Okay,
because I don't think they'll win. They'll beat the Bulldogs, the Raiders, and then that's it. They won't beat anyone else.
Who's the draw? Oh.
It's actually difficult.
It is.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
difficult. Yeah, but they've got the Dogs, so they'll do them okay.
Cowboys have got a tough one. They've got the Panthers in the end, and they've got the Sharks. The big game for the Cowboys this week. They have to beat the Sharks.
They've got to beat the Sharks
because they've got Panthers coming up. So it could be only one win out of the next three if they lose to Sharks and Penrith.
You know what, Nicola? I think you're right. I think that's pretty much the 8. The only question mark is the Cowboys, and I've got this gut feeling that the Raiders will give way for the Cowboys. That's the way I see it.
It's pretty.
Yeah, and the only reason is for negative, because it's negative 20.
Look who's
120.
playing. These two are playing this week. Knights and the Rabbitohs.
Oh,
It's pretty amazing that the Cowboys are there, considering their first half of the season.
isn't it? I just hope they haven't run out of puff, and that's a very big possibility they run out of puff. But I don't know. I hope not. I'm going to find is it 3 weeks to go? 3 games?
Yeah.
Yep.
3 games. The next 3 games intriguing. Seriously, the next 3 games are intriguing.
So back to the top 4, but the Warriors, they win this week. They're locked top 4.
Yeah, good.
They've locked it. They can't drop less than 4th.
Okay, so that's good because then they get one
That's
game.
Webster.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Then they get one game in look, they'll be at a prelim because they're going to even if they lose, then they go back to New Zealand. Good luck beating them in New Zealand.
Panthers and Broncos are on 38 points with 3 games to go. What's the highest the team's ever finished on? Do you know?
42.
It's 3 buys though. That's 6 points.
Yeah.
That's what's.
Good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
42. I remember a team having.
I really hope it stays this way. The top 4. 'Cause
I think
Broncos
I think it
Warriors
will.
playing each other is going to be a cracker, and it's guaranteed one of them goes on one side,
Yeah.
and then Penrith and Storm go on the other, and then hopefully the Storm will go, and then you got Penrith, Brisbane or Warriors playing each other in the final because I think they'll be one of the best grand finals.
I think the top 8's going to sit as is, with maybe the Cowboys going in and someone dropping out.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if there's chooks.
No, I don't think so.
How are they?
They're
26.
They win the next 3 games, 32.
32. Okay, but there's going to be a lot of teams on 32. So what's their for and against? That's what I mean. Negative 84. Forget about it.
Well, they're playing Rabbitohs, so they can knock 2 points off them
Yeah.
if they want. And I think they got.
But they've got to
pretty
buy.
sol-
Rabbitoh's got to buy as well.
Have they?
They've got to buy. They're going to get in. Rabbitohs will get in.
Yeah, Rabbitohs got one more bye.
Yeah. So look, they're going to bumble and stumble. I don't know what they're going to do when they're in. Okay, put it this way. This is what I think about the Rabbitohs, and they've been absolutely trashed the last couple of weeks. All they have to do is get into the 8. That's all they have to do. And they're the only team that I've seen the last how many years that can win the comp from 8. That's what I
Last game of
believe.
the season, Rabbitohs Roosters.
What a game!
Yeah,
What a game!
like last year.
What a game! I think it's a fix.
I think the one team that can win it from the bottom 8 is the Knights. They're just playing exceptional, and they have beaten some of the top sides.
Win what?
Surprised quite a few teams, and
Surprise couple of teams.
maybe even sneak into the grand final. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knights keep going how they are.
So let me explain to you the difference between the top 4 and the bottom 4 is most of those top 4 teams. I'm not sure about Broncos. Are happy in the washing machine. Look, if Ponga has one of those days, who knows?
They've beaten some of the top 4.
No, yeah, they have.
So they
have.
can do it, man. I don't know.
Look, it's intriguing. This year it's intriguing.
It is,
I love it. It's going to be some great games. We're gonna be treated to some great rugby league in September, Nicola. We're going to be treated to some great rugby league in September. Have the Eels any chance at all?
Nah, I told you a month ago there was no
you
chance.
told me a month
Now they got
ago.
more injuries. Moses is gone.
Damn shame.
Nah,
Damn shame that one.
I knew it 5-6 weeks ago.
Damn shame that one.
Well, Eels have been unlucky. They've
They've
had
been unlucky.
The Dylan Brown suspension absolutely hurt them.
That's not bad luck. That's stupidity.
That's stupidity.
Well, the draw.
That's stupidity.
The draw. How they got these
It's
games
all
at the end.
no excuses for me, George. At the end of
the
the day,
draw.
Injuries.
you got to win more games than you lose. That's it.
Madison
Everyone-
decided to have 4 weeks off.
Everyone has injuries. Everyone has suspensions. Everyone has. You know, I don't make excuses for it. It is what it is.
And how are Bulldogs on above the Dragons and 2 points away from the Dolphins? It got me buggered, but anyway.
Well, they beat the Dragons when we had Hook.
Yeah, of course.
There you go.
That's the key.
Yeah,
You reverse that, we're in front.
I thought the Dolphins were actually further ahead than
Yeah.
22, but regardless, they've had a good season.
Great
They've only
season.
won 2 of the last 8 or 9
Yeah.
games. so
Yeah,
that's
but the great season. Great
fine.
season.
Yeah, it is.
Great season.
No one
And-
expected it.
And let me tell you, I don't know about next year, but in years to come, they're underneath, they're stacked. They are so stacked underneath.
Let's run through done and dusted the week that was.
Let's do it.
Cover off some games. Panthers opened the account with a 24-12 win over the Seagulls.
Yeah, that was a. Do you know what was funny about that game? Ruben Garrick doing the kick. What was it again? It was like the kicking.
The kicking duel, like
That
the
was
80s.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved it. But it
It
backfired big
backfired.
time because he didn't kick it back.
Yeah.
He ended up scoring Taruva, who I think is a super talent. If there's one guy I would be chasing, it's him. He's a fantastic player, Taruva, the winger. He just went right through him, and that was pretty good. I love that. And so there was another milestone, I think, that night. Was it? No. Oh, greatest thing I saw. Woodsy finally put in a big hit, eh?
Did he? No.
Fantastic. It was a great hit.
No
It was
way.
his own play. His own play.
Oh, but he did get in the way of his own
So
player.
Woodsy, mate, God, that was the biggest highlight for me.
I'm just thinking back. I remember a kicking duel in the State of Origin with Dale Shearer.
Yeah.
When?
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
In the
It was
90s,
Shearer. Yeah. It was Shearer, yeah. How good.
But it was 12-all at half time. So
Yeah.
Manly were giving, as good as they can,
But
they
Penrith,
were in it.
Penrith have been doing that a lot lately. They're kind of on par with the team, and then they just go to a new gear.
They do, but I was impressed with Manly. I thought they weren't as bad as the score showed. Yeah.
Nico, Penrith went to Brookie, and they were there to be taken. They wanted to be beaten. They were there to be taken. There's only one problem. When you have a coach who's got so many ideas, and gives you the wrong idea. Yeah, they thought that they could beat Penrith with trick shots, spreading the ball on early tackles, some idiotic kicks like the kicking duel and things like that. You can do that, and that's a great way of beating Penrith. But there's one thing you've got to do with Penrith. There's you can't run away with it. You've got to get into the grind with them. You've got to beat them.
Well, that's what
in
he
the
was
washing
trying to
machine.
avoid.
That's what I was trying to avoid.
He even said that in the press conference.
Yeah.
He said if we came here for the arm wrestle, we would have lost. So we tried a few things,
Yeah, guess what? It doesn't work.
No, I know, but I'm cool. I'm happy to see him try something.
Okay.
They tried a different approach. Like they tried to catch Penrith by surprise because everyone who gets in the arm wrestle with them, you're playing their game. You don't want to get in the washing machine with them.
Yeah, but you got to get into the washing machine, and then from the washing machine, do the trick shots. They'll try to avoid the washing machine.
Well, I
They'll
haven't
try
seen
to avoid
anyone
it.
beat the Panthers in that area yet.
No.
With that, but so you've got no choice. You've got no choice with Penrith. You've got no choice. You don't have to beat them in the washing machine when you're in the grind. You don't have to beat them in the grind because you can do trick shots off the grind, but you've got to grind with them.
Yeah.
You've got no choice. You got no choice. But you know what?
At least they tried something.
They did try. And Penrith knocked them out of the season. Knocked them out from the season. They weren't good, and I hope that Penrith lost actually, because I think they needed a loss before the semi-finals, and they
I
didn't
can't
get
see them
that.
dropping a game.
Yeah, I can't see it either. I thought that this is a professor coach team. It will continue to be a professor coach team. How Schuster has got a contract at all. He's beyond me. Good luck making him a...
Oh, he's going to be back row next year.
Yeah, good luck. It doesn't really matter what he is. He hasn't got any heart. He doesn't like tackling much. So, Yeah, they move on. Penrith get 2 points
Yeah.
and they move on, Nicola. And Manly shows who they really are.
The Sharks 36 points to 6 over the Gold Coast. Disappointing from the coast.
It was, but it's predictable. Sharks playing a team bottom 8. You knew they were going to win that game.
Yeah.
That's typical Sharks. That's the 11th win in a row against the Titans, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
The water.
Now, one guy that I want to put my hat off to is he's made such a difference is that Trindle, who's playing the halves. Ever since he's come into that Sharks team, they look like a different outfit. He's been really good.
Yep.
He's another guy that I'm surprised teams aren't circling because he's the...
Should be.
He should, yeah.
Should be.
And I heard that I think the Tigers did take a nibble to try and get him. So got to give the Tigers, they've got some good recruitment. Anyway, they've got some good ideas, and it was smart of them to try and get him early. But he was really good. He's made a huge difference to the Sharks and all of a sudden made them look like a team that could threaten, which is good. But yeah, the Sharks keep on rolling, mate. They're going to definitely be in the 8 if they win like this against these teams.
Nico, Artie's absolutely right. Trindle takes so much pressure off Nico, and he lets Nico be Nico to fall in and out of the game when he wants and fall in and out of structure when he wants. Look, basically the Titans have put the cue on the rack, Nicola. They're thinking about.
I think so. Yeah.
They're thinking about Barley.
They had some shit luck over a few weeks as well.
Yeah, they have. Well, let's not talk about our favorite. What's the guy Annesley? What's his official title?
Don't go there.
Nicola, Adi gave praise to Trindle. I want to give praise to Tracy.
Yes,
Connor Tracy.
another one. Yeah,
he's I don't know why he didn't start at fullback this year.
The other guy.
Yeah, but he's just as good, if not better.
They're both great players.
What
They're
do you
both
do
great
with
fullbacks.
him? Yeah. So he's a real live wire. And guess what? The forwards actually stood up. And I've got a problem with the Cronulla forwards, but in this game they stood up.
Wade Graham was good.
Wade Graham is retiring.
He's announced his retirement,
And you know what? Wade Graham from Penrith, you could see he was, I don't know if an elite player, but he's got something that other players haven't got. Now, from a 5'8" to a back row, to a back row, and don't forget he's won a premiership at Cronulla.
Yeah.
He's gone on to some kangaroo tools. So he was in his day. He was an outstanding rugby player. And I'm happy that he's not going to Catalans because his wife's French. He thought about going to Catalans. Catalans wanted him, but he's decided not to go. I think it's a good decision. Yeah, I think it's good. It's time. It's time.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Time. And it looks like it's time when he's playing. So, he done the right thing, and Sharks just smashed Titans.
Yeah,
just smashed them.
In the next game, I didn't actually see what happened. Broncos 54, Eels. What was it? 10.
Wow.
Bit of both there. Bit of Broncos on fire and the Eels very disappointing.
It was the first time the Broncos have beaten Para twice in a year since 2016. So Mitchell Moses' 150th game, poor guy.
He broke his cheekbone and eye socket.
It's a bit of a shame. But did you notice before that, or was it before or after, Demetriou said that Elias is the best halfback Souths have had in the last 10 years.
That's what he said.
So Reynolds...
he was taking a...
Is that what he said?
Yeah. So Reynolds decided to take that personally.
I think he said he's going to be the best halfback.
Or he's going to be the best halfback.
Reynolds did take it personally because he commented on it.
He did. Reynolds...
He said it's a pot shot, But
I find Reynolds to be a special... When his back's on the wall, he performs, doesn't he, that guy? He's the difference. I love Reynolds. If I could get any player in my team, I'd get him, to be honest. He's really good, but disappointing for the Eels, man. I expected a lot more. I thought maybe they had their eye on this game. That's why they played poorly against St George. But
I'm not surprised at all. I wasn't surprised at all.
Terrible.
The rest of the season will go like that too.
It's the biggest win for the Broncos, and the fifth time they've got 40+ points in this season.
Really?
Fifth time, 40+.
Fifth time.
Fifth time, man.
Wow.
So Broncos can score points, that's for sure.
Yeah, you finished?
Yeah, man, I'm done.
Nicola, they're just. I just love watching the Broncos play. They're an absolutely fun team to watch. I don't know. I love watching. We shouldn't have this at the background because we're all
Watching
if we're umming and ahhing, guys, it's because we got porkies running in the background. I don't know
why
I don't
they
know how
did
that
that.
happened, but
anyway,
yeah.
thank Artie for that one.
Porkies won.
It was
Yeah. Talk about getting distracted. Yeah.
reminiscing.
Reece,
Reminiscing.
you know what? Reece Walsh just gets better and
Yeah, he's
better and
electric, isn't he?
better. He just there's something. He's just electrifying. Every time he touches the ball, you expect something. It's electrifying.
Can they challenge Penrith in the big one?
I got my view on that. Do you want to hear my view on that?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. This is what I think is going to happen. Broncos have got a much better attacking team than Penrith.
Yeah.
But this is the issue. Okay, maybe the first 15, 20 minutes they get it together. Maybe they score 12 points.
But over the long haul.
My question is Reece Walsh going to, like always, going to drop 1 or 2 or 3 balls? Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, when this is
He's
now,
got that in him, doesn't he? Yeah.
So this is. Let's get to the 20th minute. The Broncos are 15 ahead. Okay, and they drop the ball in halfway. Thank you very much. Okay, so we get down there, and Cleary just kicks it into the in-gold. We get it back. Cleary just kicks it into the in-gold. We're grinding now. We get it back. Guess what? They get it. They're a great defensive team, the Broncos. They get it back, right? You know, they're paying us 15-metre carries. Okay, they don't exist anymore. They don't exist with this Penrith pack. Okay. So Reynolds is kicking out of bad ball situations now. Okay, and who gets the ball? Taha. Taha gets the ball, brings it up. Okay, then who gets it? Edwards.
There's a lot of speculation there.
This is what happens. Okay, with Penrith, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now they could go and blow them off the park, 20-0. Thank you very much, and then Penrith put their head down and get blown away. We know that's not going to happen, but we've seen it. All I'm talking about is facts now.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't know what Broncos are like in a washing machine. Have you seen him in a washing machine this year? I haven't.
They might not have to go in there if they can win the arm wrestle. But
the washing machine. Yeah.
No, I'm saying they might not have to go into that type of grind with the players they have.
Oh, they have to go into the grind.
Not necessarily.
They're going to avoid it.
They can't avoid it.
No.
Even if they're 15 ahead, they're going to get, at some stage in an 80-minute game, they're going to get into a grind.
I would say if anyone is able to beat Penrith,
yes,
it'll be because they didn't get into a grind with them.
How don't you get into a grind?
Well, ask me again in 6 weeks if someone manages to beat them.
Reynolds.
I'm not saying that they can't beat them, but they're going to have to grind with them.
I don't know.
I think they can do it.
I
think
don't know
they've got
that.
the cattle to
Yeah,
do
I
it.
don't know that.
I think Reynolds has got a better kicking game than Cleary. I think Reynolds will be kicking them to death as well. He'll be doing exactly what they do to them.
Probably.
Yeah.
But the big thing for the Broncos is a lot of these guys will be playing finals football for the first time because they haven't played for so many years. And they're young.
They've only got 2 premiership winners in that team.
Exactly. So it's going to be really.
Look, if they play a perfect game, basically, yes, they can beat them. But if they do what they done, let's say against Parramatta, okay, and drop that much ball, well,
if Manly can give him a bit of trouble, I think the Broncos can definitely give him a lot of trouble. So
give Penrith,
but
Penrith didn't turn up, but
what makes you think they're going to turn up?
They're going to turn up.
Broncos might get him on an off day. You don't know.
Maybe
Reynolds will rattle him. He'll put a few nice tricky kicks around.
He will. Undoubtedly, he will. And I'm not saying that they can't beat them.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is their game has to be outstanding to win. And yes, they can.
So, which team do you think can beat Penrith?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Not
even. Okay.
I'd have to agree with that.
If Penrith decide that today we want to win this game, as we stand now, no one can beat them.
Yeah.
If they decide, if they're all as a collective, if they decide we're going to win, No one can beat him. That's my opinion, and I'm pleased. I'm very pleased to be wrong.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell. In the next game, the Rabbitohs 26 over the Dragons 14. Some contentious decisions in this one,
It was
Artie.
a contentious
Do you
one
want to
there.
take us through it?
Look, I honestly expected Saints to get a flogging. I thought, you know what, it's going to be a hard watch, this one. But credit to the Saints. South were awful. I'm not going to say South played good. They were awful.
Where did they play? Where was it? Was it?
It was in Cairns.
Okay.
But South scored, Saints scored, South scored. Like, it was try for try. It was actually not bad. A lot of errors. And I was proud of the boys. But that decision was a bit of a tricky one. At the end, it was 4 tries to 3. Goal kicking was the factor. Saints had a heap of players out. So I was proud of the effort by the Dragons. But South, if they're going to play like that, they're going to get absolutely walloped. They're going to be the first team out of the finals. I noticed Cody Walker did a hip drop and only got put on report, which is good. That's fantastic to see. But what marks this game? What marks this game is what's his name? 2 sets of twins.
Yes.
For St George,
Yes.
first time ever in NRL we had 2 sets
Wow.
of twins playing for the one team, which was impressive, and it was good to see. And we've got a lot of potential. I think I'm excited about the Couchman brothers.
Yeah.
They're just tackling machines. They're big units, and we've got some potential there. South, a lot of work to be done, man. If they want to be finals contenders.
Souths were extremely disappointing.
They
Nicola.
were.
Extreme. It was like watching this game was like pulling teeth out because I actually like watching South Sydney play, and you know what? I look. Murray wasn't sighted. Walker wasn't sighted. Latrell, because he's big, he was sighted, but he wasn't sighted with ball in hand. Some of those tries were, I don't know, forward passes. This and
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
St George done well in not letting the score. Look, they didn't go away. St George didn't go away.
They
Now,
didn't.
They didn't go away. I don't want to talk about Souths because Souths, all they have to do is make the 8, and the chances are they'll make the 8. And Adi talked about the Finai. Is it Finai twins?
Fair, yeah, they're terrible. Oh, they didn't have one of their best games.
I was just going to say, sorry, I was just going to say that, look, mistakes, and maybe they've got to grow a bit, but I'm sure with Flanagan they will. Moses Sully's an animal. He was hard to control with ball in hand.
When he's in the mood.
When
with
he's
ball
in
in
the mood.
hand.
Yeah.
Well, he was in the mood on thingy Bob.
Yeah.
And I've got a man crush on the Couchman on the Couchman boys. I can't wait to see them develop and start when Flano gets them and grab a running game.
We've locked them up for a few years. Their futures are sorted.
They're
I think, which is
outstanding,
good.
and as I did when I started speaking at the start of the pod, Nicola, I still think that Ben Hunt mailed it in, but that's my opinion. I do. I think Ben Hunt mailed it in. I don't know.
You expect better, like from your
better.
captain, from your $1 million man. The last tackle options
Yes.
haven't just been the same. It's just like that's disappointing.
The next one was closer than I think we all expected. The Warriors 30 points to 22 over the Tigers.
You got to give it to the
Tigers were in there. Hey.
At the end, 4 tries to 5 in the end. So.
Yeah. They have some dud calls go against them.
You know what? They did, but I looked at the first Tigers try, and I still can't believe that was a try because that was a bit of a dubious try, to be honest. But they copped it as well. Warriors played their 700th game since entering the comp, mate. 700th game.
Was it 95? They came in?
95, that's right.
95 that long.
Greg Alexander,
Yep, that's it.
captain.
And they've won. That was their 6th game in a row. They beat the Tigers. I think one guy that I really like, and he doesn't get much talk. We always hear about Haas, Tino, but when's Fanua Blake going to be put in that same conversation as
He was a
front
massive
rower?
signing for them.
Now.
He is a sensational player.
He was
Watching
good at
him in-
Manly. He was
at St George, and watching him in the juniors, he was a captain of the junior grades. And then he got some off-field issues for assault. He got in trouble there, so St George cut him as per the NRL
But
standards.
he had
They
issues
to
at
get rid of
Manly
him.
as well, though.
And then he went to Manly, and then he had some issues there again. And then Warriors picked him up, and he's just been sensational. And this guy always had the talent, but he's having an outstanding year. he'll be up there. If he doesn't get nominated in the top 4
He's a
rows of the
massive-
year,
massive
Top
I'll be
three.
surprised.
Top three.
Top three.
Massive player.
Metcalf was great. And you know what?
great.
Another guy I'm going to put up. This young fullback they put, Dicky, whatever his name was. Did you see him? How good was this guy?
Just as good as
Oh,
Clockstack.
he was brilliant.
Just as good as
Look,
Clockstack.
who is this guy? He was
Just
running
as good-
amok.
just as
I
good as
love this
Clockstack.
kid. He's going to be a sensational
Yeah.
player. I'm telling you, he's another guy that I like.
Yeah, just as good as Clockstack. They've got heaps of them there.
Oh, my
Heaps
God.
of them.
And Webster. That's just Webster. He just
Yeah.
Yeah.
his system. They didn't change. Like they bring in another player and they just continue playing the same
Because
way.
they're very structured.
So maybe Webster's team can give Penrith a bit
that shows-
of trouble because he knows the system.
That shows a good system, doesn't it?
It does.
25,000 people at Hamilton and Nicola. What a great sight for New Zealand.
And good. We've got to mention good for the Tigers to take that home game away to New Zealand as well.
Let's give them prompts
Yeah.
because no one else did it, and
Almost.
good they did it.
Sorry, in the press conference, Tim Sheens,
What do you say?
they said, it's great for you guys to do this, And Tim goes, it's good for the game and the money doesn't hurt either.
Oh right, yeah, that's their money. That's right.
Yeah.
But regardless, we got 25,000 people there who would have been deprived of a game. Look, the Warriors a touch off.
Yeah.
Probably waiting for the semi-finals. Adi's said it all in terms of who played well. You mentioned you forgot to mention Sean Johnson.
Oh,
Sean
I can't
Johnston.
keep mentioning him every week.
If he doesn't get a Dalian, I'll be a monkey's uncle
How good
because
has he been?
he was the difference. Fanil Blake maybe put him in the position, but he was the difference. I want to talk about the Tigers. They're not bad.
No, they really turned
They've
up.
improved so much. Now,
Well, they've got everyone back, right?
well that too.
Dane Laurie, how good was he?
Well, they're losing him.
He's going to Penrith.
He's going
Yeah,
to-
yeah. Where he came from, isn't he?
Where he
Was
came
it?
from. Yeah, he's a junior. And you know what? I'm not going to believe I'm going to say this. You know, Luke Brooks. He's
went well.
playing all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
He's not bad at all. And Appy, he's playing better now than he played with Penrith. I really believe it.
Easy.
I didn't know he could kick goals. What was that
He kicks
about?
goals too. I don't know. He's playing better. Look, who he had around him there. Look who he's got around him
He
here.
does everything. I'm telling you, if you go tonight,
such a good
he'll be
player.
taking the bins out. He takes every. He
He's
does
a classy too.
He does everything. I'm telling you.
And you know what, Clemmer's playing well. So you know what, they've improved out of sight. I really hope it's because of the coaching, and I don't know. I hope it's because of the coaching of Benji. I really do. I hope they keep on improving because I don't want to see them get any more cutlery. I really don't want to see them get any more cutlery. My concerns is that they're losing Brooke and they're losing Dane Laurie, and they're getting Amon.
Sullivan.
They're losing,
Sorry, Sullivan.
They're losing Sean Bloor
Sullivan, are they?
Where's he going?
too. England.
Losing Blonde. And
He's injury prone. He's had a lot of injuries.
and can I say they're bringing back from Super League. I forget his name now. I keep on forgetting his name, but I've been watching him play, and he's not playing well in Super League.
Who's that? Pierce.
No, not Pierce. The Canberra 5'8".
Oh, Caesar.
Yeah, they're bringing Caesar back.
Hayden
Caesar's a
Caesar.
good player, but he played good in the
He's
NRL.
33 now.
Yeah, I know. Maybe
And
it's just
if
an
you
experience thing.
if you're playing ordinary in Super League, no disrespect.
Yeah, but Sullivan will have it sewn up, man. He's going to be the 7 there, for sure. They bought Sullivan for 4 years for that reason. He's just there to provide experience.
He's a good signing for them. But
I look 30-22. It was actually not a bad game to watch either.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed watching this one.
Roosters 30 points to 14 over the Dolphins.
The Roosters back.
First time they got back-to-back this year.
I still don't. The last 2 games you expected them to win. This Friday, I expect them to win against Parramatta, who's severely depleted. We won't know with the Roosters until probably the week after, but I just don't think they can make the 8.
Yeah.
It's too much damage done early in the season.
Yeah. That was Luke Keary's 200th game in the NRL.
Was it?
Yeah, like I said, it was the first back-to-back win for the Roosters since April. And Dylan Napper made his return after 2 years.
There you go.
Yeah, he's been.
Did all right.
Yeah.
I was impressed with their half. The ex Drew Hutchison.
Yeah.
He did okay. He steadied the ship a little bit. Manu is getting there. Look, slowly they're getting back, but they've left their run late. That's all their issue is. Too late.
Yeah, I'm with Adi.
Yeah.
They're playing better. They're improving. I'm not sure if they're playing well enough or if they'll win enough games to make the 8. The Dolphins, they just they come to the season. They got injuries. They're tired.
Those clubs just want to get it over and done with.
Yeah,
now.
look, why he's playing the hammer. Well, we know why he's playing the hammer at centre because he's trying to get Nicarima in, and he's trying to put a square peg in the round hole. Look, at some stage they were willing the game. Half time was 6-8 Nicola to the Dolphins, but look, too much class with the with Roosters. You failed to mention Billy Smith because it continues to have a good game.
Yeah.
Continues to have a good game.
So their backline next year is going to look really good because they're going to lose Suali'i and they're going to get Dominic Young. So that's a pretty good little backline.
He's still here next year, isn't he?
No, I think they're going to release him.
They got him. Okay, they'll leave him. Is Daniel Tupu leaving?
I don't think so.
He's staying there. Okay.
I don't think so. Not next season.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's not. Okay, good. Yeah, look, they'll be better. They'll be much better next year.
Yeah.
But you know what? They believe that they can make the 8. They honestly believe it. So maybe they can.
Yeah.
Maybe they can. I don't think they can, but maybe they can.
Yeah, 2 weeks earlier, they needed another 2 wins and they.
Isn't it funny
Extra,
when you get a halfback like Drew Hutchison who squares the attack up? So he goes straight into the line instead of going crossways. Isn't it funny how everything works around him? Instead of having Kiri or having that other kid that was injured in reserve grade, the youngster
Walker,
who always tends to go sideways.
I think he's back.
You know what I mean? Is he back?
I think maybe
In the Reggies?
Mm.
Yeah. I don't think you can. Well, you can't move Hutchins, can you?
Well, he's at 14 anyway. He's a benchy.
He's a benchy.
I'll put him on the bench.
Anyway.
We'll see how that plays out. Storm 48, Raiders 2. We all know how Ricky feels about it.
Yeah.
Not happy.
First time the Storm have beaten the Raiders at Double A Moy Park since 2018.
Was the Storm that good or were the Raiders that bad? I think it was a bit of both.
No, Raiders are bad.
Raiders were bad, man. It's not much to say, but one guy that had an outstanding game and will be replaced soon is Meany because Pappenhausen's coming back now. I'm sure they'll slot him in. Yeah,
will they find a spot for him?
They've got
They'll
to.
find
He's
something.
been so good, hasn't he?
He has
got to
been,
find a spot.
And he's been kicking too.
Yeah.
They've got to find a spot for Maney. I don't know where.
I'll probably put him in the heart, but maybe this young kid, Steve Marion, might move out.
Put him in the centres.
What
They could
about
put
the
Remus Smith centres and him on the wing or something? I don't know.
What about the timing of it all? If it does roll out that way, you get Pappenhausen playing another couple of weeks in Q Cup.
But
Comes into the team a week or two before the semis.
That's what they're going to do.
Good timing,
That was
yeah.
always the plan.
Yeah,
He played 80 minutes in the Q Cup, and I saw him in the first game when he had half a game, and he really looked wobbly. I go, oh yeah, it's going to take him.
It's been
season. I saw him this week.
Yep.
He set up 3 tries. He scored 2.
Yeah.
He's back at his electrifying. I'm sure it's Q Cup.
We need to see him.
Another game in Q Cup, and he's got Rick. John Chris will put him straight in. I'm telling you.
And one thing that I think will work to his advantage is he's got a normal haircut now. It doesn't look like a rooster anymore.
Oh, well.
He's big thing.
Yeah.
Big thing. Yeah. You didn't mention the halfback Hughes, Artie. He had an outstanding game.
Jerome Hughes is
They all
a very
did,
good player.
didn't they?
They
Always
all
rated him.
did. And look, bringing Grant from the bench was a master stroke. But with Raiders, they were pathetic. They had no backbone, no spine. This team is showing the true colours, if you ask me. From fullback Rapana to their forwards, mate. They just, if you put a blowtorch into their belly and they'll crumble. And what do we always say about Canberra?
I still got a bit of faith in him, mate. I still think.
No, there's one thing we always say about Canberra.
What's that?
Horsburgh's a cat.
Oh, Hoas was a cat.
Then we move on. And they won't make the 8.
No, I mean I didn't think they would, but they're still in there, but they're hanging on. Knights 42, Bulldogs 6.
At one stage, the Knights City broke a record.
Isn't that like a 108 to 6
Yeah,
aggregate?
exactly. No, they were the first team that were going to get over 100 points to 0 in a season against one squad.
Damn shame we missed
but
that
then,
one too.
Canterbury scored.
We missed that as
and broke
well.
That, but yeah, were the Knights? Yeah, exactly. Were the Knights really that good, or was Canterbury that bad?
Canterbury's defence was terrible. Like the first few tries, if you go and have a look at, I think it was kick out, and I'm not sure if it was Preston or.
Oh, I saw that. We just went through the middle. I think it was
just
the
really,
Englishman
really
Thompson.
soft. Yeah, really soft. And they identified it too. Like they
spotted
They spotted it a couple of times.
Yeah,
and it's interesting. The Bulldogs started really well, like in the first few sets, but the moment something went against them, they tended to just fold.
Yeah.
They're showing their character.
Yeah,
I called it. I called it.
I call it the Rocky 3. I call it the Rocky 3 syndrome. Remember his first fight with Clubber Lang?
Yeah.
He comes out firing and then he gets smashed. I see it happen. So Parrot did the same thing. They went well for 10 minutes. A lot of these teams do, but then the good teams just take over. But Tyson Gamble was good.
Oh, he had a blinder.
Hey,
Probably
he
his
was
best
really
game.
good,
And
yeah.
they lost Hastings with the HIA.
Yeah,
the ankle.
The ankle.
The Bulldogs
sorry.
had two Symbians as well.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
You can't argue with them. They were Symbians. That didn't help. But Newcastle, the coach was smart. Like he took off Ponga with 20 minutes to go.
Good coaching. The coach that they don't want.
But I think the Bulldogs. I think the Bulldogs are in the same boat as some of the other teams we're talking about. They just want the season to be over now. There's very little to play for at this point. You're safe from the spoon. You're nowhere near the 8. Playing for pride for all these clubs is just getting tiresome now. You just 3 games to go, and then we're going to Bali. I think a lot of teams feel that way, to be honest.
You know what? I feel sorry for the Bulldogs players because if I was playing in that team, I'd be scared because if I make an error, if I have a bad game, I could be shipped. And that's how I feel like that team is playing.
You could.
They're playing like a team that is playing for their life every week. And it's not settled. It's like, oh, yeah, they're talking to this guy. They're talking to this guy. Yeah. Every time there's a guy linked, they're talking to him, and it's that guy's position. He's thinking, shit, they're going to get rid of me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's not good, man.
Absolutely.
It's this, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Man. So
I know we can't do it in league, but this is one thing that I really like about some of the European soccer competitions because they have relegation promotion. So when your bottom 4 teams, those games tend to be more exciting than the top 4 at this point of the season because they're fighting for survival.
Exactly.
Whereas our teams here, like these teams, it's just let's get it over and done with.
I'd love a second division because some teams deserve to drop in a different.
And you know what makes it good as well? These teams to fight to stay in that division, they'll play against a team at the 1 and they'll park the bus. So they'll play not to lose. You know what I mean? So imagine these teams just defending their guts out. And you could see it. They're just determined not to let the other team. They know they can't win, but they're just going to make it so hard for the opposition.
I'd love to see
Whereas now these guys are just buckling. Their minds are just gone. They're looking at Bali. That's it.
Bali.
It's not good for the fans.
Just to differ from this game, I've seen how the VAR works in soccer compared to what we've got. Outstanding.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
every decision they get is right.
Yeah.
Okay, every check that the upstairs, the bunker, they whatever their bunker they've got is right compared to our mess.
I'll give you an interesting stat. I just found out the other day about that. I did a bit of research, or I found a bit of research. In last season, over 380 games, so the whole season, VAR interfered 48 times.
No.
48 times.
We get that in one weekend.
Exactly.
Different
and out of that 48 times, they got 6 decisions wrong. And the English FA now got rid of the guy in charge because six errors is too much.
Yeah.
And they've got another guy in charge. And we've got analysts who's just saying, oh, yeah, we can make mistakes. No, the technology's there so you don't make mistakes.
Have you guys, I know you have, Artie, have you seen the offside technology they use?
The line.
Why can't we use that for forward passes?
Yeah, well, the backs.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yes, I saw that. They put a line. Yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Because apparently the ball floats forward.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I just saw what you had up on the television about Annesley saying about that South Sydney kick.
He finds an angle to sort of justify
I couldn't
it.
believe what he was saying. I'm thinking, you're lying. You're lying.
If on the video you see us keep looking at the television, it's because Porky's is still on.
Annesley had a go at Vossi and Alexander, who called the game, because
Yeah.
they were horrified with that decision.
was
They
horrifying.
looked at the the video of the bunker, and they said, "Oh well, this one's definitely going to be not going to be called a try." And then they go, "What? Try's been confirmed. This is ridiculous."
Yeah.
And that's what Annesley was upset about. He goes, "Oh, I can't believe the abuse they got." Bullshit,
I think
man.
Annesley's a good candidate for an APSM commercial.
See you
right?
later,
think
mate.
so.
You've got to go. See ya.
On this game, Knights were really good. It's funny when the control freak got injured and came off, Nicola, how their attack staggered. He's very, very important to this team. He makes Kalen's job so much easier.
He's been named for this week too.
You know,
Hastings.
you know what? If he does drop out, they'll probably still make the 8, but it's not going to be the same team. And we saw it in the second half.
Yeah.
And Canterbury are disgraceful. I said it before. I'm not going to go in it, and you know what? I'm going to wait and enjoy seeing the next coach in 2 years because
It's pretty hard to defend them, isn't it?
So if Gould's gone, do you reckon they'll improve because Serraldo will have full control? What would you rather, Gould gone or Serraldo?
both. I don't
If
think
you could choose one,
I don't think Gould, but I don't think Serrato's a good coach.
yes.
What has he done?
Would you take? Oh, it's
What
his
has he
first season.
It's his first
But
season.
no.
Come on.
Webster's first season too.
I know.
Listen to me. Wait a minute. Webster's gone all around the world and coached.
You could-
He's gone to Super League. Mr. Popular has said yes to Ivan for 4 years. Yes, Ivan, you're right. Yes. No, that's good one. Yeah. What has he done? What is it? Tell me what he's done.
He actually does have first grade coaching experience. He took the Panthers for 4 games when
an
he got
interim,
sacked.
interim.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, sorry. The 4 games, they all win all 4. They probably did.
I can't remember.
Penrith, they probably did.
So, boys, what was the best game in the round?
I'll put that down to the Tigers versus Warriors.
Yeah,
I thought
I
both
agree.
teams played pretty
Yeah.
well.
See, I love watching the Broncos play.
Yeah, that was good
Yeah.
too. There were a lot of
Just
good tries.
just exhilarating. It's
Yeah.
just,
It's exciting.
it's exciting stuff.
Not if you're on the other end of it, but it's
yeah,
exciting.
it's just exciting rugby league. Yeah, it's exciting rugby, Nicola.
What's the bludger of the round?
Gee.
Dragons and South, a lot of errors. That was just a mistake.
I didn't see the
And
game.
the bunker
so-
just, it was terrible.
And I'm going to go to the Dogs and Knights.
Yeah, you can get that one too. Yeah, our teams.
What stood out for you guys this week?
Mate, the kicking duel. That didn't happen.
Yes.
To me, that was a standout.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, when he got it in the first tackle, you go, "What's happening here? This is good." So that to me,
I
is a
liked it
standout.
too. Then when I saw what happened, I go, that never used to happen back in the 80s or the 70s.
So at least then you had to defend. They go, "Okay," but no, they just
tackle.
just ran through him like there was nothing. I don't think he got touched. It was so good.
My one is how the standard has dropped, how low the standard is of rugby league compared to early in the year, and I get it. They're all waiting either to go to Bali or the semi-finals, but standard's pretty low
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah. And who gets the John Chris spray for you guys?
I got sick of saying the bunker, so I went a different angle here. I heard Gus say that there's been improvement this year. So I would love to see Bellamy, the CEO of Canterbury, being there and Gus going up to him and saying, "We've improved this year."
Which club was Gus talking about?
Exactly. I want to hear him say to
Penrith.
John Crease, "We've improved this year," and I want to just hear that spray just come out of Crease.
I'm with Fadi. I'm with Fadi.
That would be the best.
Spray Gus, spray him.
I'll give it to Ricky Stewart.
Ricky,
Yeah,
press?
that's another one.
Yeah.
That's another one.
for sure.
Yeah.
And who was Manoli's player of the round?
my one's got a bit of a drive. He's got to come up from Melbourne. Nick Meaney, who used to be in Belmore, used to frequent Manoli's trucks all the time. He used to chase me around. He loved his year off. So now he finally got one. So Nick Meaney, 1 try, 2 try assists, 171 metres, 10 tackle breaks. That is phenomenal stats for a young player.
Yeah,
He's
it is.
fantastic.
He's been really good for
Mate, any team should be snapping him up. Canterbury should get him back.
Yeah,
them. He was really good at Canterbury.
I know. I don't know why he left.
who? Meaney?
Meaney.
Yeah, he was. He was outstanding
No, you
at
got Hayes
Canterbury. I don't
Perrin.
know what the... Who we got?
Hayes Perran, whatever his name is.
House Perrin.
From Para.
Outstanding rugby league player. Nico, I want to give the pack to someone who lives close by. He doesn't have to probably drive. Can walk to the ground. Never had the pack before. He's heard all about it, but never had the pack before. But unfortunately, he has to take those pills that everybody's passing around for the lactose. Trindle.
Yeah.
Braden Trindle. I liked him. I like what he did. He takes a lot of pressure off Nico. And I think your guy will pick up Trindle.
Yep.
Then go together.
That's it.
And hopefully Manoli will give him the pack. You never told us, Nicola, who you want for the
player of the round?
yeah. So maybe they can carpool.
Okay. It's an odd one. I'd say Adam Reynolds, I reckon, from what I saw this week.
Yeah. He actually loves Manolis because when he used to live at South Sydney,
Yeah.
at Redfern, there he'd go off and get the pack, but he never used to eat the chips for some reason. Carbs, didn't like carbs. Anyway,
Artie, have you got something for us?
Yeah, you know what? I've no spam mail this week because what's happened is ROPA had a strike on the players. He didn't let the players speak, so I'm not going to let the players send any spam. So no spam.
No spam.
Because we're doing the reverse now. But I got some Josephina rumours. Apparently,
she's always got the.
Yeah, she's got some really good ones now. Apparently, the NRL are looking at expanding, and they're going to be playing on the moon in 2026. Apparently, it's space football. I think they're looking at that, mate. Yeah, it's apparently.
No. On
And
the moon.
we actually didn't get spam mail, but we actually got mail.
Oh,
Some guy asked, "What's happened to such and the Uber driver?"
bravo! You haven't mentioned it for a while.
That's a good question.
So I chased it up. Look, when he stayed in Hawaii, actually, I saw him in Hawaii, and he stayed there. So he's got a bit of a touring business going, and he's doing.
Of course, he has.
He's touring, mate. He's taking players around, tourists around to show them where, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
He shows them where he grew up and where he lived, and then he shows them where Obama, the ex-president, because they're ex-Hawaiian.
Yeah.
So he goes around and shows them where they grew up and that.
Bravo.
So he's doing a bit of a tour.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to stay there now.
Tourist
Yeah.
adventures.
So we've lost our Uber driver as
We've
well.
lost him. The thing is, I checked his business model. The thing is, he doesn't know where they grew up or where
I
they
didn't
live.
think so.
He doesn't know. But he
Goes
just
to random homes.
takes them to random
course he
places and
does.
just points and says his
course he
stories.
does.
See that Trevor there?
Yeah,
that's where
that's
he
where,
used to
yeah.
swing and all that stuff. But
Bravo.
so yeah, Sachin's gone, mate. He won't be back. So that's the end of
shame.
Sachin. So he's
That
doing
kills
well.
me.
Opening
That
tours.
kills me. That
So-
kills me.
And that's it for me, for really. But I've got a bit of a rant.
Go for it.
I've got a rant. In 3 weeks, the last 3 weeks, I've learnt something new about the NRL, man, about something. Apparently there's one rule for 16 teams and one rule for one team. They're different. Apparently 3 weeks ago I found out that if you're over the line, right, and you ground the ball and it goes to the bunker, it's no try. For St. George, but for everyone else, it's a try.
I thought that was coming. Yeah.
And then 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
right, we found out that if you're running with the ball and the guy rakes it out of your hands and your player picks it up and scores, it's not a run. it's a what is it? Loose carry.
Loose carry.
And this week we found out that if you kick the ball
Yeah.
and your players are in front of you, and you regather it and score, it's a try.
It's fine.
Now, the one about this week that irked me, right, was every time he goes back to the bunker, the first thing you hear him say is, "We check the onside, it's a try. It's no try, whatever." This time, there was no mention of offside at all. For some reason, they didn't even check. So it's legit. So that rule must be legit. It only applies to all teams except for that.
gee.
It's just driving us St. George supporters up the wall. Every week, I listen to podcasts, and all we're talking about is dud calls. When's it going to stop? There's just so much hate. I don't know what it is. It's just becoming really, really bad. And the guy I really feel sorry for is, since Ryan Carr's taken over, I think he has done a fantastic job.
Yes.
We have been competitive.
Yeah.
He should have a couple more wins on his resume.
Mm-hmm.
After this year, he's not going to be coaching. So we're going to look back on his career and see interim coach with 2 wins, possibly, when he should have a lot more. He should have more wins than Mr. Popular, when you think about it.
Yeah.
They're playing better football. And I feel sorry for Ryan Carr. And this decision this week with the offside bullshit. Now, I don't know if St George would have won or not, whatever. But just imagine South's lost. Cowboys are in the 8.
Wow.
So they're causing a lot of inconsistencies, which are going to impact. I don't give a shit about St George, but you're impacting the top 8.
Yeah.
Cowboys could miss out on that 2 points.
To your point, Adi, I didn't want to say anything about at the start of the pod or today. I said to myself, I'm not going to trash the referees because I've been accused of that. That's other things that have come through the interwebs that I go too hard on the refs and be a bit more positive. So I tried really hard. But what you're saying, and this week, I could have went hard. This week they were atrocious.
Yeah,
they were atrocious, the referees. And to your point, to St George, okay, and to the Titans, and to all the other teams that's happened to as well. But let's say St George, absolutely.
It's always the bottom teams. And like I mentioned before, in the VAR in England, right, last year, Bunker got involved 48 times. There were 6 mistakes, right? I didn't see who the 6 mistakes were, but I think a few of them were. One of them was against Arsenal, who were first most of the season. It wasn't a bottom team. So I hate this thing about unconscionable bias, whatever it is, where they tend to pick on. That's a load of crap.
Unconscious bias.
It's crap. That is just crap. They're just picking on a team. I don't know what they're doing, but it's always the same teams. It's the Titans, the Dragons, and the Tigers that are copping the raw end of the stick. And
meanwhile, if a Penrith player gets suspended, we'll defer it to next year so they can play in the semi.
It's just becoming an absolute joke now. And the NRL need to step in because the guys that are running it are clowns. And then we've got some guy who's just showing us angles from ridiculous angles where he blasts the commentators. Like Vossi and Alexander know their shit, right? And they were blowing up the Lux. Not blowing up, but they could see the obvious. The guy was offside. They were offside. And for Annesley to say, it was just terrible.
Annesley's disgrace.
He's got to go. I've just had enough of him.
We've said it before. If you don't want us to whinge about the referees, then start getting it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Spread the mistakes at least. You know what I mean? Don't leave it on the 3 teams.
You know what? We can excuse mistakes, but when the touch is right there and right in front of him, there's a 2 meter forward pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or when there's a kick, the kick goes up. And the VR, the bunker says the first thing they say is they're all on side, and this time they didn't say it, I go what? Okay, there's some blatant things happening.
And you know what? Another thing, right? As a St George supporter, right, we can possibly win our first wooden spoon since 1938 because there's 3 games to go. Tigers have got a soft draw. They've got easier games. We've got 3 top 3 teams. All right, they've got the Storm. The Storm, the Warriors, and someone else. We're 4 points clear, right? So Tigers are playing a weak Dolphins team because they're going to have a few outs. So Tigers can win that game.
They'll win,
right? And then the Tigers are playing. I think Manly, and then they're playing some other team. Okay. So they're potentially going to They could potentially catch St George. Now, if those 2 bunker decisions were not scrutinised or were incorrect and done the right way, Saints shouldn't be even thinking about wooden spoon. But they're potentially going to get it now because of the bunker.
I think they've won.
The bunker's going to give it to them.
they've won 3 games all year. They're not going to win 3 in the last 3 weeks.
You never know. They're playing all right now. They're playing good. But Dolphins, they're in a lot of trouble this week. They've got a lot out.
I'm with you in terms of how much I hate the bunker, and when I try to give referees the benefit of the doubt, but they're really pushing my buttons.
Exactly.
They're really pushing my buttons.
If you look at the draw, Saints are the 3rd worst team. I'm not saying they're up in the top 8. They're easily far better than Canterbury and the Tigers.
I agree.
But you wouldn't think it. And it's all because of these bunker decisions.
They just
manipulate the ladder, to be honest.
just can't believe it's round 24.
Yeah, I know, guys.
Well, Sydney after the first week or 2 feels like yesterday.
Exactly. So that's my rant, guys. Sorry about that.
Outstanding.
No, we love the rants.
Outstanding. And you're right. So
just spread the love.
I can't fault you. You're right.
At least spread the errors around.
Yeah. We have some listener questions this week, boys. We haven't had them for a while.
What?
Yeah, we've got a few listener questions here. Oh. Dan asked, who would you like to be coached by? And he's listed Wayne Bennett, Jason Demetrio, Fitzgibbon, Benji, or Webster.
Wayne Bennett, who was it? Demetrio,
Fitzy, Benji, Webster.
I read this question before. It could.
I'd say Wayne.
He suggested those, but it could be anyone. Who?
Okay.
Oh, how come Brad Arthur's not on the list?
You know what? From what
I don't know.
Or Sorreldo?
from what I've seen this year, all right, Webster looks like he gets the absolute best out of all his players. If you want to get the best out of him, you go Webster. He's impressed the hell out of me. Bennett's been good.
If it's not confined just to this list, I'd say Craig Bellamy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to be coached by Bellamy.
Yeah, no. Of course he does. You know what? Craig's a bit different. So he gives you a job, and you stick to two things. All you do is two things. I think Wayne's a bit different. Wayne gives you confidence and builds you up, okay, and acts like a father to you. I'm not sure if John Crease does that. What Webster Who has done, I don't know what his game is there in terms of if he's a father figure, or if he's an X and O's guy. I don't know what he has, but he's done outstanding. But you know what? I heard Benji talk about Wayne once, and when he went to Brisbane, he was busted.
Yeah.
He was lost, and he goes. He spoke to me so simple, and I understood what he was saying and what he wanted from me. He goes and he backed me, and he goes, he just brought the best out of me. So I've got to say, Wayne, how much I have distaste for him. I don't like the man as a person on the outside, but all his players love him. So I'm going to go Wayne. But you know what? There's a few of them. There's a few young guys coming through, like Fitzy. I could see Fitzy being a Wayne or being a John Crease.
Yeah, I'm not convinced yet. I would like to see the Sharks have a normal draw.
Yeah, me too.
We've got to get the pen out of Eddinghausen's
It's funny. The guys you haven't mentioned though is what about Cleary and Robbo? They'd be up there as
Okay,
ones.
we'll
I'd love
see.
to be under a Cleary.
There you go,
A Cleary
Cleary.
system. That would be fantastic.
You know what? I don't disagree. Okay, and he done wonders at New Zealand, and he's done wonders at the Tigers because I mean they were busted in those 2 years he was there. Did they make the 8? I think they made the semi-final. No, they did make the semi-finals, but they were better. But he's had a lot of stars the last 4 or 5 years. He's had a lot of stars. So, but yes, yes. But look, I'm good. Give me Wayne.
Yeah.
I just have to throw in an update here. The movie's finished and Porky's 2 is
Great.
auto-playing
I
now.
just saw that.
The auto plays.
Oh, great. Here we go again. Off we go again. More nudity.
Wow, that's pretty good.
More nudity.
Another question from Theo. Theo asked, should there be a Dally M for the best 14th man or utility player, and who would that be now if there was?
Ooh, good question.
Good question, yeah.
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
Best
Theo.
utility player. Okay, I've got to think about that one. Do you have someone in mind? I'll think about mine.
My thoughts on that. I've been saying this for a long time too. I think the utility player should be a specialised position.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, like I think we sign halfbacks, we sign forwards, we sign centres. We should be signing a forward. Like it should actually be a specialised role. The bench player, the utility player, the 14.
Can play back row.
Well,
can play.
Whereas at the
centres.
moment it's just like versatile players who can fill that role. But I actually think
I agree.
if I was a coach, I'd be targeting a specialised 14.
Yeah.
That your role is to play off the bench,
like Verrills.
something like that.
Something like Verrills. You know who I like at 14 man, not utility 14 man? Is it Spencer Linu? When he comes on, he makes a difference.
Scott Sorensen.
Is he a
bench?
He's a starter at the moment, but I think he's off the bench normally because of some injuries. But that's a good question.
Off the top of our heads, who's played the most positions? Who's been the most versatile? It's a good question.
Good question.
I can't think off the top of my head.
Who's played the most positions?
Yeah. Who's been the most versatile player?
The halfback for Roosters.
Drew Hutchison?
Yeah, he's played most of the back
The
line.
guy that I can think of that I remember growing up was Brad Mackay. He played hooker, centre, 5'8", lock, half.
Yes.
He played quite a few positions. That's the only guy I know that
Did he play half? like 5'8".
He played 5'8". I think, yeah.
Those sort of players don't exist that much anymore.
Craig Wing.
Craig Wing.
He was another
Yes.
player who could play
Yes.
all the halves, hooker.
Now he's
Yeah,
your
But
perfect 14.
the question is, who would win now this
Who
season?
would win now?
14, Spencer Linieux, or first man off the bench, but
he's just he's a 14.
because he makes a difference.
Yeah.
But as a utility, Jay, who would you have as a who's a genuine utility player?
I can't think of an answer to this. It's
Connor
a great
Watson.
question. I might have to
Connor
come back
Watson.
next week.
Connor Watson.
It's
is
a
good
great
one.
question. I
Put
can't-
that on ice and let's
Yeah.
try to
It's a
answer it
try.
next week.
It's a
Let's try to
really,
answer
really
it
good
next week.
question.
I think the
You're on the Cowboys.
No, I think the what's his name? Knights have got a really good one. It's the guy with the curly blonde hair who plays hooker now.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
he's pretty good. He comes on and makes a difference.
Yes. What is his
I
name?
can't think of his name, but yeah, he'd be the guy.
Yeah.
We've got a question from Bonnie.
Tyson Gamble is another good one.
Yeah.
Bonnie's asked. Yeah, but he's a 6, right?
He
He's
plays.
5'8".
No, he's played hooker.
Yeah, but he's
He can play everywhere.
okay.
He's
Phoenix Crossland.
Crossland, yeah, he's a
Phoenix
great.
Crossland. Yeah, I've seen him play back row. I've seen him
Yeah,
play in the
everywhere.
backs. Yeah.
Let's throw him anywhere.
He's playing hooker now because
They're injured.
that guy is injured. Yeah. What's his name?
So Bonnie's asked, how long do you think it's going to take to have the same number of women's teams as there is men's teams?
Oh, what a great question. What a great question, Bonnie.
It depends on this year how they go. There hasn't been many blowouts. A lot of the new teams are winning. So
Okay. So, because I watch NRLW, at the start of the year, Nicola, I was a little bit worried because I saw all these names I didn't know, and they were young women. Okay, and at the first game, I actually got a bit worried because the quality was down, and the new women. But
Yeah.
from after that, it just the quality's been really good. Number one, the contact and the physicality. I'm not saying equal as men, but they're full on. They're full hearted and they attack. Okay, because a lot of them come from touch, ball in hand, catch pass are really good catch pass. Okay, some of them come from rugby nines and nines. Okay, so they've got a lot of good. So I don't think it'll take that long before every team. We can't run away. The future or the growth is with the women, because the women bring men, bring children
Yeah.
to the ground. I'm telling you now, in 10 years, we'll be looking at them completely different. It'll be a standalone competition. You know what I mean? I really believe it. So, Bonnie, I don't think it's going to take that long. But if you watch NRLW, just for the contact, it's well worth it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
And there's a Newcastle young girl. She's 17. She might be 18 now. Her name's Jessie Southwell. Okay, with ball in hand at 17 or 18, let's say, with ball in hand, she plays 6. She's probably a 7, but it doesn't really matter. She's as skillful as in terms of thing per pound. She's skillful as any man. She's got a beautiful pass. She knows where she's running, and there's more of them. So you got to watch it. It's actually fantastic. So Bonnie, you know what? In the next 10 years, you'll be very surprised how this game's going to look.
yeah, for sure.
Very surprised.
And one last question for Arthur.
We got one of the names wrong. I just heard now. So
I got Dan, Theo, and Bonnie.
Yeah. No. The actual question.
Yeah.
Say Sullivan, not Amon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for this question, the Wounded Dragon asked for Arthur, keeping Hunt and letting go of Sullivan. Do you think that's a mistake?
Yes, absolutely, because we're banking on the spine of Sloan, Sullivan, and Amoni to go through and better things are our future. And Hunt was there just to sort of guide him through. If we had Hunt at 9, and then you had Sullivan and Amoni in the halves, and Sloan at fullback, I think that is a very deadly spine. And we're losing Sullivan now. Hunt reckons he's going to commit for the next 2 years, but he's 33 years old. If he gets busted, Amon's, what's his name? Amoni is got a court case hanging over his head, so he could even be jailed because they're pretty serious crimes. What they're trialing him for. So letting go of Sullivan's a huge mistake. I would have kept him. And Tigers, you got a good one there. Only thing is, he's got a few injuries in him. So if he stays injury free, Tigers have got to.
He's injured at the moment.
No, he's injured at the moment. But if Tigers can keep this guy injury free for 4 years, they're going to have a phenomenal player.
Nicola, when I heard that Flanagan showed him the door, I was staggered.
He's got plans.
He has got plans,
Yeah,
but it's someone you brought up. It's like a Penrith thing. You brought, these 4 or 5 kids all together. They've been winning comps underneath, and you're breaking the 5'8" up. You're breaking your Luluwai up. It staggers me. Now, I'm not saying that Flano doesn't know what he's doing, because Flano's been there. He knows what he's doing, and maybe the injury part is the big question or the big caveat. That's why he's doing it.
Yeah.
But I was staggered when I heard about it.
Saints have been bitten before. We had a guy named Cole Stanley who was the next big thing. He was fantastic, even when he played those few games.
Yeah.
But I think he retired at 27, 28 because he just had injury after injury.
Okay.
So maybe they can see something with Sullivan.
Okay.
They've already been bitten there before, and they don't want to risk it as well. So
Okay.
that's the only thing I can think of, because from what he showed in the juniors, he's phenomenal.
I was staggered, but look, you know what? We're going to have to put our trust in Flano. Yeah. So hopefully he knows what he's doing.
Hopefully.
Let's run through crystal ball quickly, fellas. The upcoming round.
Can I give you a rumour that I've heard, a true rumour? Apparently there's either the Chad or Flanagan are going to come in, Kyle.
Okay.
That's the plan, I think, for next year.
For
The Chad.
The Sun will definitely be
St.
there.
George.
For St. George.
Yeah,
The Sun will definitely be there.
that may be why they got rid of Sullivan as well. So that's a rumour that I've heard. Anyway.
Well, North Queensland is bringing back
Yeah, I know that guy.
a guy from Super League,
That's it.
which he's going pretty well there.
Yeah.
So maybe which I don't get it, because I still see him playing at a high level, the Chad.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I don't understand what he's doing, but maybe he's probably tapping him on the shoulder 1 year too early than 1 year too late.
Well, Flano maybe just
I don't know, but I like the Chad. I'm a fan of the Chad. You all know that I'm a fan of the Chad, so I don't understand it. But hey, let's move on.
So let's go. So kicking off, we got Cowboys and Sharks.
Cracker game. That's going to be a cracker.
Cowboy or Shark?
Wow.
Tamalolo's 250th game. Is he playing this week?
I'm going Cowboy.
And
At home.
Cowboys won 6 of the last 7 at QBE, and Sharks have won 9 out of the last 10 against the Cows. So they've got the wood on the Cows.
Yeah.
So I want the Cows to win really hard because I think they can, but I think the Sharks have got the wood on them for some reason. I don't know why. They just buckle under the Sharks.
Even up there?
Yeah. The Sharks have got the wood on them, man. I don't know what it is.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So I want the Cows to win. I really do, for the only Egyptian supporter in the world. But I've got a feeling Sharks are going to do it.
Really? Look, the Cows have got to win, because if the Cows don't win, they're going to struggle to make the 8, Nicola. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys. But what I saw last week from the Sharks, I liked. I'm not going to lie. They're on the improve. I didn't think
good
they've got
game.
in them. Yeah.
Be a good game.
Can't wait. Thursday's a good one. Usually Thursday isn't a good one, but this is going to be a
a
good
cracker.
one. Yeah.
Warrior, Seagull.
Warriors are aiming to win the 6th consecutive in a row. First time since 2002.
Wow.
20 years ago, man.
Grand final year.
So
Was it?
Warriors.
Grand final year for them?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going Warriors, man.
Look, there's only one winner here. It's in New Zealand. Look, I think the Seagulls play well against the Warriors and in New Zealand, but I think the coach is going to show up again. The outstanding coaching of the Seagulls, and Warriors will just a little bit classier. A little bit classier, Nicola. And then they've got to win. They've got to keep in the top 4.
Eel, Rooster.
It's a very interesting scenario here. A very interesting scenario. Yeah.
Eels won last 7 out of 8 at Combank. The Roosters have beaten them the last 7 out of 9. Roosters have got the wood on the Eels, so I'm going to go
Eels
Roosters.
got too many players missing.
And the Eels have got now Moses gone, so
Who's playing?
Yeah, who's
Yeah,
their
who's
half?
playing instead of Mitch?
DJ Marcy, is that?
Arcee goes to 6 and Brown goes to 7.
Okay.
He played well when he played on the.
Oh,
he
it's
filled
not,
in.
Yeah.
it's not a bad replacement. And can I just? I'm really liking Simonson. I really
Yeah,
like
he's
Simonson.
Good pickup.
I mean, he's not a local junior, isn't he, Nicola?
No, he's from Canberra.
He's from Canberra. He's not a speedster.
I don't know where he's from before that, but
I thought
he
it was
came from Canberra.
Okay, so I thought it was a junior. Look, he's not a speedster, but you know what he's got a lot of attributes. And don't forget that Reggie's back. Don't forget Reggie's back. So it's not a bad team. You know
It
what?
is. It's a good team.
Parramatta will win. Parramatta will win this game because I don't believe in what Riss's has shown me. I don't believe it.
Tiger, Dolphin.
Tigers and Dolphins. Tigers have lost the last 4 at Combank, so that's not a very good ground for them.
They're playing comeback.
This is an interesting stat, right? Sheens has only won 2 of the last 10 against Wayne Bennett. When's the last time Sheens and Wayne
Funny
Bennett?
thing, eh?
Yeah,
He's got the wood over him.
He's got the
eh?
wood over him. I'm going to go Dolphins. I'm hoping because I'm wishful. I'm hoping the Dolphins win because I don't want Saints to get the spoon.
Yeah. You know what? I honestly believe that the Tigers haven't been playing bad rugby
They
league.
haven't been, no.
They haven't been playing bad rugby league. I think the Dolphins, they're travelling to Sydney. They don't like travelling. Have they won in Sydney?
No,
yet?
they haven't.
I think the trend's going to continue, Nicola.
4 out of 7.
Yeah.
They've won 4, lost 7
Okay.
away.
I think the trend's going to continue. I think the Tigers are going to get a victory. And it'll be a well-earned victory as well.
Titan, Panther.
Is it in Queensland?
Yeah, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, the Panthers.
Titans are $9.
There's not much to say
No
here.
matter what stats you find.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
Titans.
what have you got on. I'm sure you got on.
They've only won 2 out of 8 against the top 8 sides. So
Yeah, Panther will win well.
Dragon, Storm.
At least it's in Sydney.
Dragons have only won 2 games out of 6 at Wynn Stadium. It's in Wynn. So
It's at the Dragons Den.
It hasn't been that good. Nick Meaney is on 195 points, man, for the season. He's only second behind
Really?
Sarko.
And
he's going to get dropped. He's not going to make it to the end.
Put
So
in Reggie's.
I hope he has a good one. Storm should flog him, yeah.
Storm will win because they've got to win and they're going to win and win well, unfortunately, which hurts me. But that's an interesting thing, eh? Next week, maybe Nick Meaney will be in the Reggies.
Yeah.
Chances.
We'll
I mean,
see.
he's not, but chances. He'll come off the
He
bench.
could be off the bench.
He
Yeah.
could be off the bench. It's funny, eh?
Knights, Rabbitoh.
Mate, this is an interesting one, right? Knights are chasing their 7th straight, and that will be the first time since 2001, 2002.
Really?
Yep, 23 years ago. Rabbitohs have beaten them 12 out of the last 14. They haven't defeated the Rabbitohs at their own ground since 2011.
I think for me, a lot of this stems on whether Hastings will in fact play or not. He's been named.
Sounds like Rabbitohs got the wood on them hard. So
I think the Rabbitohs will win.
I'm going to go Knights.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed with
Really?
Rabbitohs. They were lucky against the depleted Dragons.
Okay. I think they've got to stand up. They've got to win. They've got to win a game
got
to
to.
make the 8. They've got to win something.
Nah,
I know they've got to buy next week, but they've got to win something. So
Let me just remind you on something. All right, Tyson Gamble against Walker.
Oh,
How
put
do
him
you
off
get
his
under
game.
How do you get off Walker's game? Do you think
Simple.
Tyson
It's so simple. Tyson's got to go like a
within the first minute?
like a
He'll
a
be
dog.
punching.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
nice win, nice win, big win.
Tyson's going to wave his magic.
I feel sorry for Cody.
Oh,
I feel sorry for Cody.
Copper Deluxe.
I feel sorry for Cody.
Radar, Bulldog.
I'll go before you, okay?
They both went as bad as each other last
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, I'll go before you. This is going to be the only Raiders win for the rest of the year.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Raiders will win. Look,
They'll
Dogs haven't won there since 2015.
Are they playing?
GIO.
GIO? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they get flogged.
So they've won the last 7, the Raiders. So it's got to be the Raiders. They've got the wood on them.
Boys, as stated last week, I'm going to give a brief weekly update on the grassroots footy, let's call it. Down from the Illawarra district, our team, the Shell Harbour Stingrays.
Go the Stingers.
last Saturday, they participated in a gala day,
Oh, wow.
which was the South Coast Group 7 Junior Rugby League under-6s. It was down at Jamboree at the Kevin Walsh Oval.
Kevin Walsh.
So, as you guys know, they're under-6s. They don't keep score at that age, but all games were 2 10-minute halves with a 2-minute halftime break. Our young man, Hunter Orzak, he had to pass a late fitness test in order to take the field. Bit of a groin strain there, carrying from the week before.
Trampoline incident, apparently. Trampoline
Got through with
incident.
flying colours. I had a blinder, got a few tags. And my sources tell me, Georgie, there were a few scouts down there as well. Maybe Flano was hanging around.
Look, words were
Yeah.
that they saw Flano Artie with a hot dog and a Coke just walking around.
There's ongoing negotiations between the under-6s, the Shore Harbour Stingrays, and
Really?
Kyle Flanagan as well. So,
Kyle,
so he could be a marquee signing for him next season.
maybe. There you go, Artie. There you go.
Look, if we got a 7-year-old playing in the halves, our average halves is going to be 20 years old because they're going to have Hunt and the 7-year-old. So
Poor Hunt.
George, you got some tidbits for us?
I have Nicola. The challenge, the Challenge Cup final in England.
Yep.
As you know, our team was in the Challenge World Challenge Cup final, the Lee Leopards, and they're playing the inform Hull KR. Mate, the last time the Leopards won anything was 1972. A long drought. They've been in the second division or
Sounds like
first
Parramatta.
division,
Yeah.
well, a bit longer, I think, for a while now.
Not by much.
So 2 years ago, this psycho billionaire buys the Leopards. It's a small little town with 50,000 people in it. Okay, brings them up to League One. Okay, then win the comp again. And then she brings them up to the Premier League or the Super League, okay? And he's pushed them up to top 2 in the competition, and they've gotten their first silverware. Nicola, field goal in extra time. Young Lachlan Land kicks a field goal and beats Hull KR 17-16. So
it was
the
good sense to see Adrian Lamb and his son, because Adrian Lamb's the coach.
Yes.
So coach and son, it was
Yes.
like Clearys, like you're watching the Clearys, where
outstanding.
you're watching the Lee Leopards.
It was
doing the same
outstanding.
thing. It was
I got up.
outstanding.
I
Great
got up.
scenes.
Yeah, I got up 2 o'clock in the morning and watched it, Nicola, and it was great scenes. It was a 50-50 game, but young
Lockie Lamb.
was it Lockie? Is his first
Yeah.
name? Yeah, absolutely. He's a superstar in England.
He was
He's
good
a
at the
superstar.
Roosters. I was
He was good at
surprised. Yeah,
Roosters.
no one picked him up. He went to
You-
England.
You know what? There's a kid in Hull KR which they bought a month ago. They got him from Canberra. He was a Penrith junior.
Yeah.
They got him from Canberra. Schneider. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Brad Schneider.
Yeah.
Well, is it
Yeah,
Brad
Brad
Schneider?
Schneider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's played a fair bit of first grade.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
played for.
For the Raiders.
He's put. Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember him. He's put this whole team on his back the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's a kicker as well.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
5'8". Honestly, if you saw him, and obviously he can't crack a first grade team here. If you saw him, you would think he's a world beater. Seriously, he was the one pulling them back every time the Lee Leopards will score a try, make break. He was the one doing that something special. It was an outstanding game. Sensational. Leopards' first trophies, and their psycho billionaire boss. All he wants is trophies.
Yeah.
That's what he's looking
Yeah.
for.
And he was wearing the full leopard
Did you
outfit,
see
the
it?
suit. Yeah.
Did you see it?
was
All of them
ridiculous.
were.
Loves his leopards.
Loves
doesn't
his leopards. He's the one who rebranded them. But Nicola, he's made it very clear he's after trophies.
Yeah.
He's looking for trophies. He's actually coming to Australia to buy half the comp, apparently.
If only our clubs had that ambition, eh?
Yeah, I know. Tell me about
Hey,
it.
Nick, they want to win trophies.
Jeez.
NRLW, Nicola. Dragons 18, Raiders 19. Field goal.
Field goal.
Last minute, yeah.
I
Last
heard there was a
minute field goal.
contentious decision there. They got robbed. The Dragons got robbed.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, seriously, I
Yeah,
heard.
no, they did.
You did, eh? What
I
was it?
didn't want to go into
Did you know what it was? That's a
It was a
double movement?
it didn't. It looked like a double movement, but I don't know if
What happened? Because they were blowing up the Lux. I remember reading something. It was everyone's going nuts.
That's what it was. She put her arm over.
And did they award it or something?
Yeah,
Or
they
didn't
awarded
Oh, they awarded
No,
it.
they didn't award it. Sorry, they didn't award
They
it.
didn't award
It was late.
So
they
it was
didn't
right
award
then.
it.
It was the right call.
No, sorry. It was the other way around. It was the wrong call.
Oh, okay.
It was the wrong call. Okay. I'm going to run this through the scores. And next week, I'm going to start bringing up the table. I thought I'll give it a few weeks so the table sorts out because they're just all compressed. Okay, so next week I'll give you more information about the games. The Cowboys 16, the Tigers, which I thought were the favourites in this game, 12, Nicola.
First loss for them?
Second loss, actually. Second loss. The Broncos 22 beat the unlucky Eels 12. Nicola, we haven't won a game.
I don't know if that's unluck as much as it's just being shit.
Look, we were depleted in the off season, but these young girls are getting experience, Nicola, and I think it steads well for next year. They're not that far off the pace, really. Sharks 12, the Roosters 36. I'm going to say it again. I say it every week. The Roosters stacked.
Yeah.
Stacked. The Knights are 22, which pretty close to the best team in the comp, and the Titans, which I'll surprise 10. Artie's got the table up, so I'll go for the table. So they play a top four, Nicola. The Roosters are first at four points. The Knights are second, 4 points.
No, 6. You got
6 points. I'm saying
Roosters, Knights, Raiders, and Titans are on 6.
Yeah, so they're all
the
got
top
6
4.
points. The Roosters, Knights, Raiders, and Titans, they're all on 6 points. So that's why I thought I won't bring it up. The Tigers just outside Nicola with 4. The Broncos after them 4. The Cowboys 4. And the Sharks, which are better than
Dragons
that.
and Sharks.
Yeah,
on 2.
Dragons, which both teams they're much better than that.
How's my favourite, Tenagatu, whatever the
She's
fullback?
doing well. She's playing 5'8". She's not playing fullback.
Oh, really?
It's hurting now. She's a fullback. She's not a 5'8".
Spill.
But I'll pick some plays next week, and I'll highlight them. The Eels minus 96.
Duck egg.
So yeah, we're doing it tough. We're doing it tough.
But have they had the tough draw? Have they played the tough games or not?
Oh, they're all tough games.
Okay,
Every team's good. Put so they haven't played the Roosters, nor have they played the Knights, nor have they played the Raiders yet. So yeah, I went on a NRLW rant before. How good they are. They're sleeping giants. I'm not going to go on it. Nicola, a mistake happened last week. I didn't write down the song of the week, so
What was the
Boy
song?
Wonder, Brother Louie.
Oh,
So unfortunately,
That's all right.
he didn't put it on, but he will put it on this week.
okay.
But let me tell you something about the band, Nicola.
Standard procedure.
Standard Procedure.
No, it didn't.
What are they called again?
No, it's
Modern
Modern
Talking.
Talking.
Yeah, I don't know where that
But
came
it's
from.
called Standard
Yeah.
Procedure.
I've
so-
never even heard of that band, Standard Procedure.
No, I don't know. He calls it Standard. So I call it Standard Procedure.
I couldn't remember what they were called, and that just popped into my head. I don't know
love
why.
it.
But how does Modern Talking and
I
Standard
don't
Procedure?
know,
How
but-
do you-
I still can't get
but
over
I'll
their
go with it.
hairstyles.
I love it.
I'm still stuck on the hair. Anyway,
Nicola, they're a German duo. They formed in 83 until 87. They had massive hits like "You're in My Heart," "You're in My Soul,"
You're my
that
heart,
one?
you're my
Yeah,
soul.
Good one, that
That's
one.
the
Good one,
best
yeah.
song, yeah.
Sherry Sherry Lady,
Sherry
you remember that
Sherry,
one?
yeah.
Yeah. This is Artie's favorite. Atlantis is Calling.
Oh, yes.
SOS for Love.
I think
Yeah.
I've got that 12-inch.
Yeah, me too, I think. Yeah. And of course, your favorite, Nicola, Brother Louie.
love the blonde guy doing the fist bumps while he's playing the guitar. The hairstyles kill it.
So, Boy Wonder will put that on. You spoke about our favourite South Coast team, the Shell Harbour Stingrays.
Yeah.
I'll get some information. I think our boy from the Rousel Rhinos are playing semi-finals soon. So
Okay,
what
yeah.
we're going to do is we're going to go to the grand final or the semi-final.
Definitely.
And we'll vlog it. I want to talk about Artie's friend last week.
Cornelius? Florist, yeah.
He wants to chime in, Nicola, and he wants to give for an NRLW player the Rose of the Week.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And I thought,
Better off with the amount of flowers you gave away last week.
Well, yeah.
We'll be out of business.
yeah. Well, he appreciated the call. So giving him some attention.
Yeah.
I want us to meet Cornelius and
Yeah.
something about him.
Give him good instructions because he might give him a wreath by mistake. He's that type. He's a bit. You got to be really accurate with what you're telling. Like he asks for a rose, he'll give you a whole wreath, and he doesn't. He thinks they're the same. I don't know. It means different things, but anyway.
He also wants to give this award in memory of his, not in memory, but his 1974 team, Nicola. He went to King's school. Unfortunately, didn't play rugby league.
Yeah.
He didn't play rugby league. He didn't play rugby league.
What?
Well,
What
yeah.
did he play? What
Well,
did he
we
play?
went to King's school. He didn't play rugby either. He played darts.
Oh, okay.
Child prodigy, Nicola,
Yeah, he's very good.
a dart player.
Yeah.
Now there's this talk about Cornelius and his rich this and that. Well, he lives in a modest 10 bedroom house at Point Piper. So
he's making money.
this talk about him being wealthy, Nicola, you can can that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He took over the family business, the florist. Took over the family business. He lives with his partner, Stephen. So so that's Cornelius. And the first rose of the week goes to and this is in respect of Adi's favourite NRLW player, Tanakata.
Oh, well done, Tony.
So she'll be getting a long stem rose.
Good on her. Well
from,
done. That's
from,
fantastic.
From Cornelius's shop. Nicola, good news. The Toronto Wolfpack is back. They've reformed after COVID, and the international board's gone in there and is trying to sort out the American comp because it's such a big country. They got comps like all around the country, sort of thing. So what they're trying to do is make sort of the closest proximity, make like little comps everywhere instead of having one, because you can't travel right around the country in America. They haven't got the money. Okay, Toronto, they're having an invitational tournament this year, and they're trying to get into the Super League again. It might take them a while. They got another psycho billionaire owner as well. So I thought that was good news with the Toronto Wolfpack are forming up. Now, something I enjoyed doing, Nicola, the player in review, Tommy Raudonikis.
There you go.
I enjoyed this. Don't look at the screen because this is good. When I typed up Tommy Raudonikis, you know what came up? One of a kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
That actually came
That's
up.
very good. That's very
One
good.
of a kind.
Yeah. Perfect.
Mate, he was born in Bathurst, believe it or not. Grew up in Cowra. Dad Lithuanian,
That's it. Lithuanian. Yeah.
mum Swedish. My father absolutely loved Tom Raudonikis.
Why has he got a Greek surname then?
Well, this is where I'm going to get to, and I don't know about that. But his father's Lithuanian.
Lithuania is Russian.
Yeah, I
Raudonikis.
know, but he's Orthodox. Lithuania is Orthodox, so somewhere along the way, you know what I mean. My dad loved Tom Raudonikis. Number one, because he played for West. Number two, because he thought he was Greek. Who knew? Who knew?
Well, Alexander the Great probably conquered Lithuania, left
As
a bit
well,
of DNA
yeah,
there,
back-
so
yeah,
call him
probably
Greek.
back in
I
the
don't
day.
know. You never know.
Something we don't know about Tommy, he joined the Air Force as an engineer. He spent 3 years in the Air Force, Nicola, as an engineer. 1972, Nicola, he won the Rothmans Medal as the best and fairest. Yep.
The best, the fairest, that's
There
questionable.
you go. There you go. 1977, he won with his beloved Western Suburbs team, the MK Cup, the midweek competition. He played 201 games for West, mate.
Yeah.
1978 with Roy Masters, the famous Fibro versus Silvertail's rival started. And as he said, he loved it. He loved it. He made him a better player. But don't forget that team had some good players. Names like O'Grady, Boyd, Donnelly, Dorahy. So they weren't chumps.
How many games were there a season back then?
How many teams were back then? We didn't.
It was
have
all
many
Sydney.
Teams. It was all Sydney.
So it would have been 10, 12?
yeah,
so they would have played each
12.
other twice?
Yeah,
Okay,
twice.
22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, twice last year. 1980 to 1982, Nicola, he made the move to Newtown, and as you know, he played in a famous grand final.
Yeah.
Where Parramatta won on that day. But if you remember the game before the semi-final, where it was like a brawl-a-thon.
Yeah.
Yes.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
It was more brawls than rugby league.
Was that against Manly?
That was against Manly.
With Broadhurst? And
Yeah, Broadhurst.
Yeah.
Well, as he says, Bowden gave Broadhurst the best headbutt ever seen. He loved it. Mate, awards. Did you know he had a OAMA in 1982? He got picked for the team of the century for West. Magpies made him a Magpie Immortal.
Oh, God.
Newtown greatest import. They gave him that badge of honour.
Yeah.
The Men of League toughest player. ARL greatest 100 in the greatest 100
Greatest
players.
100.
Yeah, obviously Hall of Famer
Yeah.
in the Hall of Fame. Mate, he played for West Newtown Brothers in
Queensland.
Queensland. Yep. As you know, he coached New South Wales.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Cattle
Sorry,
dog.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I retract that. He played for West Newtown Brothers. He played for New South Wales. He captained the first game as well, as you remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
He played for Australia and New South Wales country. Now he coached West. He did coach Brothers.
Oh, Coach Brothers.
He
Yeah.
coached Brothers. He coached Ipswich, North Devils, and New South Wales.
What a Queensland Cup, eh? Did he live up there?
Yeah, he went and lived up there after when he
Oh,
coached West.
that's right.
He went
Yeah,
and lived up
that's
there.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He who can forget the famous cattle dog call?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who can forget the famous cattle
Johns will
dog
never
call?
forget it.
Johns will never forget it, and he loves telling that story as well. I've got a story for you. He got picked for Australia, and as an understudy, Stephen Mortimer got picked for Australia too, and they decided a really good idea to bunk him up with Tommy. Okay, so Tommy walks in, and Turvey's there. He's got his bag on the bed. He goes, "That's my bed." Grabs his suitcase and throws it out of the
Window.
yeah, throws it out the window onto the street. Turvey goes, "I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do." He went back and he went and asked if he can get moved, and they said no.
Oh, jeez.
And we know that unfortunately he passed away a couple of years ago. Phil Gould maybe can't coach, nor can he recruit, but what he can do, he can give inspiring talks.
He played with him at Newtown, didn't he?
And
Yeah.
he knows him very well, as
Yeah.
we all know. And he did not a eulogy, but he on Channel 9 when he passed away, he done his famous talks, and I've got it, and I found it.
Let's hear it.
I found it so inspiring. I thought I've got to play it for you guys.
Yes, yesterday morning when the news first broke that the great Tom Raudonikis had passed away, you could just feel the rugby league world stop. We all took a breath, exhaled. It was a moment of reflection and sadness. Rugby league had lost its most charismatic personality. This was a man that was larger than life. The likes of which we will never see again. You will hear many stories about Tom Raudonikis. They will sound exaggerated, embellished, and sometimes totally unbelievable. But trust me, they're all true. Tom came into big-time rugby league during the 60s and 70s. It was a tough and violent era back then, but to say Tommy was very comfortable in that environment would be a massive understatement. He revelled in it. He was a fierce combatant. A raw, passionate, unapologetic competitor, he feared no one. He would never take a backward step. Tommy was an inspirational leader. You never wanted to let him down. You felt an obligation to prove yourself to him. His acknowledgement meant the world to you. He turned boys into men. He built camaraderie, unbreakable bonds, and lifetime friendships. He liked to make people laugh, even at his own expense. Away from the competition on game day, Tommy was a kind and compassionate man. Tommy's greatest gift was the way he made people feel. Whether it was a fan who just on the street wanted to get a handshake or the Prime Minister of Australia, Tommy gave them all 100% attention. He made them all feel good. He never forgot anyone. Through all the success he had as a player and a coach and the notoriety he brought him, he never forgot where he came from. He was always true to himself and his friends. As the saying goes, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, that was Tommy. He never lost the common touch. He was the man of the people. He was the people's champion. Many will be saddened by his passing. Each will remember Tommy in his own special way. The moments that we experienced with Tommy when he was giving us 100% of himself. That's what Tommy did. That was his gift. He gave us all our own special memories of him.
I'll tell you something. The first time I heard that didn't have the background music. So the boy Wonder must have put the background music into that, and he made it even more dramatic. I'm not sure how much you know of Tommy or you saw him play. Obviously you saw him in the 80 grand final. Because of my father and because I'm a little bit older than you, Nico, I actually saw him in the 70s in that West team, and because of that. And because when he used to take me to Lidcombe Oval, I saw a lot of him. And one thing I do know, that he didn't leave anything out in the field. And as I say, and Artie's going to know this saying, he always showed me his heart. You know what I mean? So I actually, don't get me wrong, I get upset when I hear players pass away. Artie knows when we reported on Greenie last year, I got upset. But this one, when he passed away, I got upset for Tommy because Tommy gave.
Yeah.
Tommy gave a lot.
You could hear Phil Good was struggling during that.
He knew him.
Yeah.
He knew him well. Look, he had a great friend in Singleton, in John Singleton.
Yeah, that's right.
Which probably supported him and probably gave him not only a lot of breaks, but probably gave him at the end the lifestyle that he was living. But you know what? One of a kind, I think, is about the right word.
Yeah,
perfect.
But everything he achieved, he just made us happier.
Yeah.
Tommy just made us happier. Like he last, the CDR starts next week, so I'll be reporting on Napoli next week. But tell me, Ari, about Liverpool.
Yeah, we saw Liverpool Monday morning, 1-1 draw. Liverpool got ahead 1-0, and that just sparked Chelsea back to life. And at the end of the game, Chelsea then scored and had 1-1 draw in the first half. And then it finished that way, both teams going back and forth. But it was a great game, very entertaining game. But, yeah, Chelsea finished the stronger one out of the two, that's for sure. And Liverpool just hanging on.
Do you like what you saw,
a couple of offside goals. VAR stopped a Chelsea goal. They disallowed a Liverpool goal. By millimetres, both of them made. They were both, marginal. But the correct decision was made. There's arguments there was a penalty did you see the handball?
I only saw the highlights.
There was a handball for a Chelsea player, but VAR let it go because his arms were tucked into his I don't know what it was. So a couple of contentious decisions, but overall fair result, 1-1. Both teams played really well. Great game of soccer.
Good. I'll be asking you every week.
Yeah, sure. Know what it is.
And Nicola, in terms of Napoli, have they got a similar team?
Yeah, pretty similar. Coach is gone. They lost Kim, the defender,
Oh, yeah, where'd he go?
Bayern Munich.
Oh, okay.
And in terms of coaching, are you happy with who you got? Do you know him?
Ask me again in a few months.
The striker, is he still there?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good.
Osimhen, yeah.
Is he a name coach?
Not really, no.
Not really.
What's his name? Who is he?
Rudy Garcia.
Rudy Garcia?
Yeah,
He was at Roma a few years
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Well,
That's interesting. He's a good coach. He's actually got a good style of football about him, but
We'll see.
he can rub players the wrong way.
You can tell us all about it next week. Eh? How they open this season. And that's me, Nicola.
All good.
That's
Well,
me, brother.
that's it. That's episode 52.
Thank
Gee.
you.